All right. And we are live. The last flashpoint with
The last
Cognito.
flashpoint. Could be the last flashpoint ever. No, I'm just kidding. Who knows,
Cognito
maybe.
Ebontis, our wayward son, Travis, away doing Travis IGN things. But we taking it back old school, man. This is how it used to be back in the day with the cheetah. Ebontis, how we doing, sir? What's going on with you, man?
I just gotta call out Prescott in chat real quick. He's like, good evening, lords and ladies. I'm like, there's one lord. What are you trying to call me, dude? What the?
Well, maybe he's referring to the chat.
I know he's referring to the chat, but it was just a very funny moment because I was like, we have a Lord Cognito, and then there's me. Not sure where I fall in that category. So,
Lady Cheetah.
Yeah.
You mess with my man's like that. Don't do it. Oh, Scotty B been listening since Flashpoint.
There you go.
That's an OG right there. He remembers.
Yeah, that's a long time listener.
Wow.
For sure.
Curse of Osiris when we started, bro. Curse of Osiris. Whew. Those are the days.
That was quite a fun moment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What have I been up to? Well, if you guys do follow the YouTube channel, which if you're here, I'm guessing you do, you saw I got a chance to review Revenant 2. I got a chance to I got a code from Travis because he got codes for IGN and co-op and all of his reviews. So go check out his review. Please make sure you do that. We actually landed on the same score, which was pretty legit. But I got a chance to put one out on my channel. Obviously, when it comes to reviews, I know I'm like very unpracticed. It's just kind of one of those things. The more you do it, the better you're going to be at writing and scripting and also just like sourcing clips and stuff like that. That's why it is something I do want to do more of. Like I told you before the show, is like I want to play Dave the Diver and I want to do a little review because I'm sure if it's like the way I hear on the internet, it's going to be like, please play this is going to be my thumbnail. Like I can already see it. I just want to put some time into it. But Remnant 2, it is a sequel to Remnant from the Ashes. And if you played the first one, it was a shock, I think, to a lot of people because it kind of flew under the radar because it was souls with guns.
Okay. Oh, this is so you. Oh,
no, but that's why to some people it's like it will or it won't be something you play. The first one was actually a nice surprise. There's still a weapon. I remember the animation of a rifle because it had like 4 parts because it was like one of the realms based around like trees and stuff like that. And the 4 parts would like separate and rotate as it reloaded. And it was like a sniper rifle, but the reload animation, like it is still stuck in my mind. Because you would like, when you went to reload, the barrel would like separate, like the 4 pieces would break apart, rotate around, and then like collapse back on itself. And it's just like one of those random things that kind of sticks in your head. But I actually had fun with it. 3rd person shooter, and then souls. But also, you're going to combine random generation, procedural generation to it.
Okay.
So you've got a little Diablo, little Division, little souls.
So 3rd person. So we getting a little outridery or no? Any outridersy in any level? I mean, I'm only because you mentioned the 3rd person.
I mean, sure, okay. 3rd person, couple of skills and abilities. Those could kind of be there, but not so much on like big abilities. They're more.
Got it.
It is mainly about the guns.
Gotcha.
They are a big focus. I mean, yes, 3rd person shooter and dodge rolling, sure, but I mean, you can say Souls has dodge rolling too.
Yeah, of course.
Big focus around the weapons, and the first one was just like a nice surprise. Did he get everything right? No, had some kinks and stuff like where it's like the armor is going to be a little too much of a focus because you had like set bonuses and things, but you kind of had to play into those a little bit more. This one you have a lot of flexibility in your build crafting because as you level up and do certain things, you'll find traits and you can put those into like whether it's health, this mods, whatever it may be. But I mean, if you go into customization, you got like certain number of points you're going to put into traits. Then you have an archetype, which is like your class. If you're going to do a challenger, that's like up close. That one, if you die, kind of has like a mini self-res, kind of like a warlock. It is actually a class that I would recommend people play if they are kind of going solo. The challenger is a good one because of that self-res. And then also the first skill you get with that one kind of unlocked is this like shockwave. And typically in this game is like, if you get kind of overrun, when things can go poorly, usually. I mean, if the bosses can shoot you from far away, but it's usually the smaller guys if you get overrun. And if you can just do like a shockwave in front of you, it's actually kind of one of those that'll save your butt. So the Challenger is actually a pretty good one. The other one is the Handler, and you actually have a dog. So I did start with the Handler because you have a dog.
Of course.
The dog can res you.
Okay.
So
Wow.
if you go down, it'll use like one of your, like potions or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah. Like
depending on what game you're referencing.
limited use.
Yeah, this is your relic for this one. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
it'll use one of those to bring you back. And then
Mhm.
it's also got an ability where if you just like stand near your dog, instead of using a health potion, just have your dog howl, healing. And then
Okay. Oh,
and if
you,
he follows you around, he just passively heals you very slowly.
okay. All right. All right. All right. This
So,
is so you.
yeah. And then you've also got Gunslinger. Yeah, Gunslinger, which is all about just like ammo efficiency, shooting all the time. You've got the Hunter, which is more long range, snipes, like accuracy, criticals, things of that nature.
Mhm.
I'm forgetting one of the main starting ones. There's more that are hidden, by the way.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's some that you will find, unlock, and otherwise. And the cool thing about the game is you don't even go through the game in the same order as the next person.
Yeah.
You have an
I remember Travis
opening.
did.
You have an opening section,
Mm-hmm.
like a little tutorial. You get to the main hub base, and then when you go, you and I could go in 2 different places.
Really?
Yep.
That's wild.
And in
That's
those
wild.
places, you could have different stories.
Wow. Very deep.
And in those places, you could have like little side dungeons, or they called them injectables, I think, in an interview. But like, you could go wander around whatever the map is, and you could be like, well, I have this side dungeon over here. You're like, well, I was in this zone and I don't have that. So you might even
That's a nice
experience
experience.
different bosses, because like the side dungeons will sometimes have bosses or hidden things or experiences.
Mhm.
So you could play through the game probably twice and still miss stuff. Because you've got
Gotcha.
multiple things in other places, random rolls.
Mhm.
So it's just a lot to experience. And one of the cool things about it, you've got weapons that you can buy, and you can upgrade those. Kind of like if you ever saw Bloodborne, where it was like +1, +2, +3, up to a number. It's the same principle where
Gotcha.
you're
Yeah.
upgrading like the pluses on a number. So it's not like loot. It is
Mhm.
not a looter shooter.
Gotcha.
You're not going to get the greens, the blues, whatever. You're going to get a
Gotcha.
weapon, and you can get
Mhm.
multiple different types of weapons, and then you can unlock the ones that you kind of fall in, or you can upgrade the ones you fall in love with.
Upgrade to what you fall in love with. Okay. Okay. I'm starting to get the basis of it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And when you kill bosses, they will typically drop some kind of material. Well, you can take that material and turn it into usually a gun.
Okay.
I will say one of the crazier ones, a cube gun. It has 5 bullets.
Mhm.
When you hit your target, the bullet bounces back into your
Okay.
gun. All you have to really worry about that point is overheating. So you can
Right.
just sit there and hold the trigger
You can
or
sit
manage
there
your
with your
overheating and ricocheting.
right. Right, because it's gotta balance it somehow,
Yeah.
otherwise it's gonna be
And,
unlimited with it.
and then you can take every weapon, and they have a mod. Now, some of the mods are going to be universal. Like most of the weapons you'll be able to purchase, starting weapons, stuff like that. They just have an open mod slot. And like one of the ones I've got on one of my weapons right now is this thing. It shoots out, and then it's kind of like, trying to think of a good example. See Dune?
Yes.
Like the thumper?
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's like a kinetic shockwave. It's kind of like Destiny's kinetic trimmers, but it does it about
Yes.
5 times, and it's about a 9-meter radius. It's actually pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
So I can have that on my like long range rifle, because you have a long weapon and you have a close weapon and a melee. So I can have my long weapon do that, and then if guys are coming up and there's a group, I'm like, all right, let me just kinetic trimmers you.
Yeah, have something to shut them down with,
Yep.
so short term. I got you.
But the
Mhm.
boss weapons are nuts. Theirs are really unique. Their mods are locked, so you can't switch them out. But
Right.
like the cube gun, for example, if I'm going along and once I charge up that mod, then I can turn it on. Well, that turns into a shield with like 500 health.
Oh, damn.
And it's a cube
All right,
shield.
A little barrier in front. All right.
And then depending on if it takes enough damage, then you can launch the cube shield that is around you forward. And then the more damage it took, the more damage it does as it passes through enemies.
Oh.
And that's one weapon.
Mhm.
There's like a mini crossbow. The more times you shoot it in enemies, if you charge up the mod, I can rip all of those bolts back out of those enemies, overflow my magazine, and hurt them for what I pulled them out for, and heal myself for what I also pulled it out for.
I'm getting creative.
That's the biggest thing. The weapons are cool. You'll typically find some ones that you feel comfortable with. You'll find a new one. I did stick with one gun for a while just to kind of get a base level experience for the review. But the more you experience, no, it's like I wanted to, but it's also kind of that is one kind of critique I do have.
Which is
currency for upgrading I wish it was a bit more generous, and I think on higher difficulties it is. So if you get something that's higher, then you can go farm higher difficulties and then go mess with your lower stuff. So it's kind of a progression, but I think the cost of some stuff versus the pace of currency you get for like, I mean, if you're telling me there's like 30 different weapons, that's a long time to invest to really put them through like high difficulty paces. Because I don't want to go into Nightmare, which is not quite Apocalypse. So I don't want to go to Nightmare with like a level 1 weapon. It'd be a little rough.
Yeah, of course. No, I get what you're saying.
So that the kind of a critique there on the currency. And then you have like 4 rings, which you can do a whole bunch of random stuff with for builds and things. You've got 1 amulet. And then the archetype, you can get a second one. So when I said I was a challenger or a handler, I also put challenger on. The difference is whatever your prime one has that like main perk, like the self-revive for the challenger, the dog handler, the one where you like, if you reload, it reloads everything for the gunslinger, stuff like that.
What about the secondary one?
The secondary prime perk isn't there, but you have both abilities. So I can still have my dog follow me and then do the shout to heal me. And then I also still have the shockwave from the challenger.
From the shout. Okay.
So you combine everything except the prime perk.
That's got me thinking of Diablo 4 enchantments for some reason. But yeah, I see, but even deeper than that. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing. It's like, now I will say the armor, I kind of said it and forgot about it. Lower difficulty, you won't think about it. I did say in my review, being as the armor is based on 2 things. Weight for the type of roll you have. If you put on really heavy armor, you're going to have a slow roll. So kind of like that's a soul's piece for sure.
That's the balance. Yep, that's the balance.
So if you find just like medium's usually pretty safe. Now, granted, if you go into like high difficulty and you're facing a boss that's like all electricity, maybe you do need to find like whatever armor has the most electric resistance. It may come into play then, but like normal and veteran, not even like paying attention to it. So armor is kind of, that was kind of why in Remnant 1, armor was too constricting. And then this time it was, they swung the pendulum too far the other way, in my opinion.
Kind of loose with it.
That was one of my critiques on it. Co-op, definitely a 3-person co-op team. You can do that. I mean, I know I listened to ACG's interview. He had a really good time. He said like 25 hours, like plenty of time in co-op for a lot of people. And generally, I think the experience is good. I got to play with Travis. We had a couple of issues.
Okay.
We had one point where just the 2 guests froze, but he kept going. So the host, if he held up and then we would just have to join back, that's not so bad. The bigger issue I had was scaling. If you play together with someone, and you play on the same difficulty and you kind of get the same experience, that's fine. But if you jump into like somebody who's 3 or 4 levels higher than you, you may just get whooped.
Oh, so there's no... Gotcha.
It does not, no, because like I would jump in with Travis, and one of the times, is it solo friendly? It is actually very solo friendly.
That's what I was about to say. It has to be. For you to love it the way he loving it, it's got to be solo friendly.
And that's why I was like, if you're worried about solo friendly, play it on Survivor, and I think a lot of people can have a great experience because it is, you do want to pay attention to like attacks and dodging, kind of like a Souls, and then the bosses are definitely, bigger, deliberate attacks and stuff, but Survivor is not that punishing to a point where you should worry about being solo. Co-op, felt the first was co-op focused. Like, I feel like this one can do well at both.
Okay.
Because like if you play together and you scale together,
I
think
that was the scaling.
That's kind of like the scaling I do kind of want to experience. Like, I didn't get that much time, and then I know on like ACG, he got 20 hours in co-op and stuff, and he said he had a great time. So that's why I was like, take mine with a grain of salt. Could have been a get good moment if I jumped into the wrong difficulty. Could have been just a couple of things, but solo friendly, absolutely. Don't overdo it on difficulty at first. And then the cool thing is, I said, like, if you go into a world and we don't start the same way, when you beat a realm, you unlock something called adventure mode, which is separate from your campaign. You can go re-roll that exact same realm, maybe go see a different story, see if you got different bosses, run back through there again, and then you can sit there and jump, and you can turn that one maybe to a higher difficulty if you want to try it while your campaign's still over here. So you have 2 different things. You have one realm and then a full campaign playthrough. Like, I ended up giving it a 9 out of 10. That was this is the funny thing. Like, I was playing through and I was torn. I'm like, it's at least an 8. That I figured out pretty comfortably. And I'm like, but I was like, it does some things good. No. I was back and forth and I was like, I'm liking an 8.5. And my wife even was like, dude, you got to pick a number. And I was like, I know Travis would say the same thing. And what I did is I started an alt You can skip the tutorial and you just literally jump into that new realm after the tutorial.
Nice.
And I went to one of the realms I'd experienced, but I was like, I'm just going to choose this a little differently. And this is why I want to say there's choice to it. Now, I think the main beats of the story, which the main story outside of the realms is almost lighter than the story you experience in the realms.
Got it.
So, like, the overarching story is like kind of a vehicle to move you to the realms. The realms are like the meat on the bone. But I took a different decision. You can be like, oh, well, you know, it's like, okay, I'll go do this thing you want me to go do. Or I'm like, hey, I want to fight you. And I was like level 1. I got whooped.
Yes.
I got whooped. I got thrown in jail.
Okay.
I fought my way out of jail. I found a sword I probably would have never found. And then I found an invisible door to get out of jail that I would probably not have known if I would not have taken this path. And I was like, 9.
Yeah.
And that's literally that one moment I was like, that's it. It's a 9.
What that reminds me of, and even though this is a completely different genre, that's what makes Mass Effect great, because there's so much choices that some people that they've put in the game that they know that some people might not even have seen. But no, that's dope, man. I gotta check it out. It's officially comes out next week.
25th, and then or 20th. I would have to look, because technically if you get early access, it's 3 days access if you like pre-order the Ultimate Edition or whatever. It is technically tomorrow night at like 7 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, because of the early access.
Yeah, so it's probably like British release at midnight, so for the 22nd. But for like the West Coast, I DM'd Miss 5000 Watts, and she's like, yeah, it comes out at like 4. I'm like, what? So it's like 4 p.m. Western.
4 p.m.
So yeah, 7 p.m. So it'll be out. So 3 days early access, otherwise on the 25th for everybody. But that could be like the 24th, the night for us.
Too many good games right now.
Oh, I know.
Man.
Too many good games.
Right
but yeah,
now, bro.
But I was gonna say there's choice. There are a couple moments where I'm like, I could do this, or do I want to do that? Then I asked Travis, he's like, I totally did that. And I was like, of course you did.
Of course he did.
But I was like, but what that unlocked was something that I would never see otherwise. It even unlocked like a trait for him.
That's dope.
So like, and I'm sitting there like, I don't know. And then he was like, oh yeah, I totally went down that way. I got a trait. And I'm like,
see, where you got me is, you said Souls, but then you said if you put it on that difficulty,
well, no, Survivor is like the first time to play. Like if you haven't played Remnant, play it on Survivor. 100%. You will still have a good time. And you can still die. Like it's not too bad, but like
I don't want
you can't
that, like,
you can't be stupid. Like
of course you can't be stupid, but I don't want that. Oh my god, oppressive. You know, we gonna be here. You know,
no veteran for a first timer, I think would probably be. I mean, unless you're just like a Souls gamer, probably. But like not so much your thing. No, Survivor's more approachable for anybody who's like afraid of the Souls genre. Survivor's the way to go.
Sounds good. I gotta check it out, man.
I was like, and there are also. There are moments in this game where I had to sit there and, well, this is my line from my review that I sat there and wrote. I have never thought this much about a tic-tac-toe move in my life. There are puzzles and things in this game. You're not going to expect them. And like, so those are like the calm between the combat.
Yeah.
And these like, some of them are pretty big. Multiple like level size puzzle, like, or involve more than just like the small area. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. You're selling it. You have sold it.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those games. It's not live service. You're gonna get the package, but the replayability is crazy.
I like that.
The customization, and then the fact that choices matter. The puzzles were a nice distraction in a really good way, and they're very well done. I've solved all of them. I solved another one today. Destiny killer. No, that's the whole point, is like, this is what you should play when you take your break from Destiny. Like, if you're like, I don't want to touch it till August 22nd, don't play stuff like this. That's the point.
Plus it's finite. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's like there will be a point where you're like, all right, I kind of got my feel, or I've replayed it enough. And I mean, if you want to go into like apocalypse difficulty, and more power to you. But like there's New Game Plus as well. Like if you want to go nuts, you can.
Dope. Gotta check it out, man. Next week, the Remnant Part 2.
So that's what I've been doing. What have you been up to? Sorry, I took.
Yeah, you was in your bag. I was like, I'm getting the full review today.
Yeah, I'm like, I just literally repeated my whole review. Sorry, everybody.
I was like, he excited. Let him go. Nah, you good.
It's so good. I want people to play it. That's like,
that's what I knew. For you to go this hard, I was like, no, this game is really, really good. Because I remember when Travis was telling us And I was like, yo, all right, that sounds kind of fun. And we all know Travis, his scale, as far as like to impress him, it
I was
takes
like,
a
he
lot.
gave it a 9 too, so it's not
Yeah,
nothing.
exactly. That's a huge deal. Now for me, it's been I actually started the Wrestle Quest demo, so it's kind of like SNES energy, basically wrestling game meets JRPG.
Oh,
The animation style is absolutely hilarious.
okay, I can
It,
see
it,
that.
it's pretty much if you're a fan of wrestling and like the business of wrestling, the gimmick and cut the promo and moves and stuff, but they've JRPG'd everything.
Oh my god,
E, you might like this. B, I'm telling
oh,
E,
I see it.
this is SNES. It's a
I
love
was like,
letter
my
to that.
JRPG this year is going to be Sea of Stars. So
Oh yeah. This
I'm
is
already
like a
there.
side, but you got to be a wrestling guy. If you're not a wrestling guy, I don't know if it's going to connect with you because I am. So a lot of this stuff is funny. Then they got a lot of classic wrestler likenesses, and
I
it's
know
just
you and
being
Maddie
silly.
talked a bunch about the AEW game that was a big letdown to
Hmm.
Maddie on Defining Duke. He was like, "This
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was let down." Is this one? Has he played this? Has he?
Yes, he loves it. We
Okay.
actually, when we were at PAX East together, I made him go over to the booth, check it out. He didn't know about it, and he was like, "Yo, I'm loving the game." Yeah, Revenant 2 is WrestleQuest. There you go for Prescott. But yeah, man, I like it. It's a great start to it. I'm gonna definitely once the full game comes out, do their thing, support it. It's hilarious. And then the second thing is Exo Primal. Very
Ah,
surprised by this one because
I've
I
heard
came
people have
in.
had fun.
Yeah, you know what it is? You
I was
come
like,
in
that's
and
the
you
best
like,
way. I've just like not like crazy, but I've just heard people like, I've been having fun. I'm like,
yeah, like I was coming in like, okay, this is gonna be a quick little filler kind of game that I'm not really. I mean, I have my eye on it because I was like, all right, it's dinosaurs. The mechs look cool, and I want to see what it's about.
is
But I
it
will say,
forced multiplayer, kind of like match made?
it's Gambit in a way.
Yeah,
It's
it's kind of well, I mean, like,
PvEVP.
but it is
Yeah.
like you're always in a team, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
you have
pretty
to be, I
much what it
think.
is, it's a team of like five, from my understanding. And the first thing you do, you do the tutorial. You start with your class stuff. I will say off the bat, this game is absolutely beautiful. This is a looker.
Really?
Oh, bro, Exo Primal, bro, on
Okay.
your
I mean,
piece,
I have it. I just got to boot it up then. So
boot it up. Cinematics and actually the looking of the game. You're gonna be like, okay,
you're
this
telling me
is the
100
next gen.
raptors running at you looks good.
Bro, the actual characters in conjunction with 100 raptors. 100 raptors falling from the sky looks absolutely ridiculous and hilarious. Like it is, the game does not take itself seriously at
Yeah.
all. Like it is just goofy, it's just fake AI stuff. What they try to do is incorporate a PvE story in a purely PvP kind of game.
Yeah.
So it's like a better version of anybody who played Titanfall 1
Yep.
know that Titanfall 1 didn't have a legit story. You
No,
just
it was like a
playing
couple of
matches.
voiceovers as you were like
Yeah.
loading in. You're like, all right,
Right.
guys. And then Titanfall 2 on the other side, one of the best stories ever. So
Right. So but they took Titanfall 1's formula and really did a story and made it better. Now again, it's over the top, but I'm telling you right now, wild cast of characters. Graphically, again, you have to see this game. This
I gotta
game
boot
is
it up if nothing else just to see
beautiful.
this game.
It's beautiful, and you're gonna get a little Anthem vibes with the suits and the
I've
class.
seen kind of the mechs, yeah.
Now the thing with the mechs, I went Zephyr and shout back for that. Yeah,
Oh,
we
shit.
went a lot.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you. For
Mhm.
looks, did you see the story trailer for Armored Core?
Ooh.
Did you see that? It dropped like today. Did you see that? That looked really good too. And I
That
was just
looks
like,
sick. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check, see what's going
oh,
on.
when does that come out? August 25th.
August 25th, bro. And then here's my problem:
And
is
then
that all this stuff in
Starfield.
August, and then Starfield comes, and it's just like, oh, then we got August with Final Shape, and oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
it's
Well, it's
crazy.
Final Shape. Sea of Stars is on the 29th, which
Mhm.
I'm dying to play. Hopefully,
Mhm.
I'd love to try and review that, but I don't know if I'll ever sleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
Final Shape showcased, new
Showcase.
season. Got to do
New
coverage
season.
for that. And then
Yep.
25th, 3 days later, so it'll be a Friday. That's going to
Yeah.
be Armored Core 6. No idea how hard that's
Mhm.
going to be. Starfield, is that the 8th or the 6th?
6th, I think. Yeah, 6th.
Okay.
And then I think it's early access before that, and
Oh,
then that
God.
same week of
Oh,
release,
God.
Cyberpunk,
Oh,
Phantom Liberty.
Liberty. That one at least I know I can wait on because I'm not going to touch that because I haven't played the original.
Oh,
I've waited long enough because I was
wait,
just like,
oh,
I
it's
booted up and
amazing
I was
right
like,
now.
I'll just wait until it settles.
To the whole thing. Okay, I see what you said. You're gonna wait for the whole thing and then do what you
Yeah,
gotta do.
like that's
But
one of
yeah, you
those
gotta
like
play it. Like it's
not
really good right now.
coverage. Yeah, it's like no, I've heard really good things at this point, but
Yeah, but anyway, just finish up with Exo Primal. Look, it doesn't take itself too seriously. The abilities, you get a little bit of Overwatch vibes with the classes. You have your tank, it brings a shield out kind of like that. You got your Zephyr classes melee. You got classes. There's a lot of classes actually. There's one that's literally a warlock. That's literally walks around with like a healing. It's called Witch Doctor or something. They've got
sounds like a
so
shaman
many
kind of like a
shaman kind of vibe. Yeah, they got that. They got one that's kind of aerial based. Each one has its pluses and minuses. But the cool thing, is you can switch on the fly, which is you
Which
can
class,
change.
like
Yeah.
nice.
Then when you get to the end game is mods and things like that. So look, I think it's worth the play. I was actually having way more fun with it than I thought. And yes, is it really deep? Probably
I was
not.
like, is it worth the buy or worth the Game Pass download?
It's worth the Game Pass download. But I will say this is a fun game.
So
Definitely
if you
download it.
got like a legit group of co-op people, might be worth the
Yes.
investment money. Definitely,
Yes.
but for like solo, try it on Game Pass if you can. See how the
Yeah, this
matchmaking
ain't.
is.
Yeah, play this with friends. Don't go in there solo dolo like you
I don't
normally
have
do.
friends. What are you talking about?
Play with me. Call me and say, yo, when you gonna fire it up, I'll play with you. It is hilarious. And my boy Flame Floors got damn.net. He has a couple of guys on it and starts getting started and stuff like that. But it's really cool. It's actually a really good game. I think they have a foundation. And yeah, you could even choose to not do the PvP portion. You can eliminate that and just make it like Gambit, a group of mechs and team of 5 doing their objectives versus the other team, the race to do the objectives, first. And then the way the real Exo Primal goes is then they face off against each other with the dinos at the end. But you can remove that component if you don't like PvP at all. So worth a shot.
Nice.
And of course, this game Destiny I played last week. I didn't play it this week, but this I got to get in there because we got some event or something going on. Right?
So I will tell you, this is the first season I did not play one game of Iron Banner. I didn't touch it. I skipped it.
Feel you. You know what it is? Every time Saladin came around, I'm like, bro, nah.
I mean, I looked at the emblem, and then it was usually as like it's a lot of I've been busy with like other things, whether it was like the Remnant review or like working on Ghost Solo or like connections were an issue. So then I would think about doing my Ghost Solo and then just not do it, or it's just been one thing or another to not do it. And I was just like, it's an emblem. I have 1,000 emblems. I'll be okay. Nice oh no, I mean, I saw the emblem and I was like, I mean,
because that's for dogs. And I thought
trust me, trust me, I know. But I was just like, it just didn't happen, and I was like, I'll probably be okay.
You'll be all right. I will say, I want to shout out though the Wicked Implement quest. Like I said, I got it done, last week, and then actually the week before last, and then last week, shout out to Sinister, shout out to Scream, shout out to Wilhelm Scream. So basically, I learned something about getting the catalyst. So I'm trying to get people together. Actually, it was like late, nobody was on. I'm like, damn, I want to get the catalyst. So I'm like, I'm gonna do Rando's deep dive, trying to do a tier 7. This was way more complicated than I thought it was going to be with some blueberries. And literally, it got to the point, where I had to literally make an emote to say, hey, guys, here's the darkness thing set off the event on each encounter.
If you would have tried to go for it, like, right around when the catalyst became available, you probably would have found more people who were on board with that. But yeah, well, I've also heard the other side is like, it's like a division of deep dive. Half the people want to try and get the catalyst, and half the people actually, and then or do tier 7, and then the other people are like, I don't want to touch that crazy stuff.
Yep. Or you got the people that want to do the initial part of the quest that they don't have the gun yet. Because they want to set off statues, and then they want to go off to the left. So I'm like, I get scared at that second part because I'm like, if I see people going to the other door, I'm like, oh, blueberry. So anyway, long story short, I was able to get Scream and Sinister at some ungodly hour, and we play it. So now I'm like, bro, we need the tier 7. So Scream, I think we did good all the way up until like the second room, and it was something we missed, whether it was a plate we didn't step on, no, it was just a bunch of enemies with that you gotta kill in that time period, and we just didn't do it. So I'm like, we were like tier 6. So I'm like, all right, let's go to Orbis. So Ski's like, no, we're good. I'm like, no, but we gotta get tier 7. We can think.
You can do 5 or 6. I've heard it's possible.
So so this is where Scream wins. He goes, bro, we're good. I'm like, are you sure? So I'm like, all right, and we do it. So we knock everything out, and then boom, it drops. And T6 like, told you, Kong. Tier 6, you didn't need it. I'm like, all right, I bend the knee, damn it. I thought I needed tier 7 for sure. So
Yeah.
tier 7 guarantees it, I'm assuming. And
Seems
the
to,
other ones,
well, somebody told me it actually didn't guarantee, but I would say most
Ooh.
people seem to. It's probably like 95% or something, or
Yeah, it's
99,
probably a
because that
drop
one
rate.
person
Yeah.
is unlucky. But yeah, I would say probably 5 or 6 or lower
Yeah.
rates. You got yours, and
Mhm.
6 is probably decent. 6 is probably like, I don't know, 2/3. Because if 7
Yeah.
isn't guaranteed, that's weird. But somebody did tell me they didn't get it. But that's
On 7, they didn't get it?
yeah, one person. It feels like 7's damn near
Oh, no.
guaranteed. Like, yeah,
I'm
got it
being
on tier
salute.
6.
Tier
Yeah.
6 guy. Tier 6 gang. Salute
Tier
Stumpy.
5 is the lowest drop point. So that's, yeah, you got to do
Okay.
2 pressure trials. You can skip the last one and still possibly get it.
I gotta be honest, Eli, before we get into the Tarbos, I gotta get him a little something. I like deep dives a lot.
Oh, the concept
lot.
of it? Oh, we talked about this like last week. Like, this
Mhm.
season is actually a pretty decent season.
Mhm.
Like, deep dives are there. We've got the dungeon. We've gotten a quest. We've got the random side thing. Salvage the 6 person. We know the 6 persons sometimes are kind of, they're fine. They are just there.
Yeah.
Story was decent. We got some kind of big revelations. Like,
Yeah.
it's been a decent season, but everybody's just like all up in arms and tired and all the. It's
Yeah.
like the emotions around the season, but like
Yeah.
objectively to look at Season of the Deep,
Yes.
it's been like, I don't know which one is. It's Tom's Farnsworth teams if I do the math right.
Mhm.
I was like, and it's they delivered a pretty solid season. And deep dives, as you're saying, is conceptually, I like what
Oh,
it's doing. Now, granted,
love
right
it.
now, as you've got like 3 different divisions of what people are
Mhm.
trying to accomplish is a bit of a mess, but
Right.
I do like what it does. I wish the modifiers that you would pick up
Yes.
mint a little more
Okay.
because they do seem a
Okay.
little light. I think when
Yeah,
we did
like
our
you talking
tier,
about the Asa's gifts? That's what
yeah,
you
the
mean?
gifts are
Yeah.
light. A lot of them.
Mhm.
The 300% on super helped. I think when we did our tier 7, but that was like very perfectly timed.
I like how they don't help when you do the secret quest though. None of that works.
No, yeah, and that's gone. I'm like,
It's gone. Yeah, yeah. It's
come on.
like, we continue.
But the attrition modifier that can just go to hell.
Yeah, that's enough. That's
Attrition, and then it was the previous week when we were doing, the modifiers, the ones that work against you. Oh yeah, they're on when you're doing the exotic quests, but your buffs, those aren't.
Yep, go
So
away.
the first week
Yeah.
when I was getting the exotic quest, it was like if you got touched melee wise, you were stasis slowed, which then you're just gonna kind of get stuck in place a little bit.
Mhm.
Trying to see, you are freaking out over here. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I'm freaking out connection.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me do
no.
US. Try and
Switches. How we doing
switch
this?
server. Look better now. We're good. It was
better?
just your voice
York
was
wasn't
fine,
doing
but your
good?
video was a little weird.
Yeah, New York wasn't holding it down.
Um,
No, but yeah, I agree. I just wanted to give, he said RoboCop.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give deep dives a little love because now that I've seen the majority of the mechanics, which is obviously the base version of deep dives, then the pressurized trials of deep dive, I really like pressurized trials. It did add a level of tension. It did extra, dimension to it. And then they incorporated a cool secret quest. Now, could they have incorporated, maybe separated the secret quest a little bit better so that randos don't interfere with each other, each trying to do separate objectives? It's probably my only thing. But the idea of going in like a deep dive wetsuit kind of a thing, the sound quality is absolutely amazing when you hear the crackling. It's about
audio
to go
design
down.
just
Audio is outstanding. Zero
chef's
Rat
kiss.
talks her talk during the whole thing. The quest of the actual Wicked Implement, I thought was excellent. And basically searching around for the things. I love a big, what's his name?
Tormentor,
Tormentors coming through. I just want to give that maybe, right now I know emotions are high and everybody in the community, is really fed up, and rightfully so. I get where everyone is, but I just wanted to give them their flowers on that because normally seasonal activities, let's be honest, have kind of been, but I really like this one, and I want to give them their flowers on that one.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm very happy to see anything that flirts with this because, like, I mean, for me, it's a callback to Hades, which I know somebody in that studio has played Hades because that is like, finish a room, go to the tour, pick one of your 2 choices. Like, that is Hades 100%. And Hades is damn near one of the best roguelikes ever made, if not probably the best one right now. They're working on a second one, which that'll be 5 years away, but I'll wait. No, but just the concept, like, it was fresh. Salvage on the other side, 6 person, 2 spread out. Like
Yeah.
you get like too many weighted objects,
Yes.
and then like not enough enemies. If you just had one person like camp
Mhm,
spawn doors, you'd basically
mhm,
cover most of the enemies that you pretty much had to hear about.
mhm.
Yeah, salvage was the other. Salvage is like your basics, but and that's why it's like we don't win all the time. Deep dives is very
Yeah.
good. If you would have had what was the I can't remember the name because I know you had expeditions which nobody enjoyed. What was the one in the
Mhm.
ship with the variety?
Why am I blanking right now?
You know,
In the sh
somebody in chat will probably get us there,
Somebody
but
in chat gotta help us right there. Um,
because
why
that
am
was
I
the
blanking on
6-person
that?
one that people enjoyed. It was like tight quarters, kind of quick encounters, a little bit of like
Oh, wait,
catch crash.
Catch Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, Catch Crash. Yeah.
So if you had like a catch crash and a deep dive in the same season, I'd be like, holy crap. But again,
Mhm.
maybe, and again, salvage was just, I think the arenas were too big. I
Yeah.
think that's the biggest thing because there were like enemies were trying to spawn, but they had to run like a mile away to do it. They used the Titan aesthetic, which was fine. I
Mhm.
mean, I actually appreciate that they did that as opposed to here's a, you know, part of a planet you can roam around
Yeah.
on and kind of get bored in 5 minutes on. So it's
Mhm.
like I appreciate them using like the tile set for the
Yeah.
look of it, but it was just too spread out, I think. And if
Mhm.
they could have made it, the dense seems to be limited on the system because I mean the enemies are only going to spawn so quickly,
So
whatever
quickly. Yeah.
systems or technical or
Mhm.
PS4 or whatever it is holding it.
PS4.
I mean PS4, Xbox One. They're on 8-core, like the If you go compare
Yeah.
the specs of like that Jaguar core to the new Ryzen, it's like not even close.
Not even close. Not even close.
And then
Mhm.
Switch is over there like, help, I'm drowning.
Help me.
Switch was worse than a PS4 when it came out, so
Yes,
we
facts.
might get a PS4 size,
Version of
PS4
this
equivalent Switch. Yeah, we might get
Switch,
one of
yeah.
those. Yeah, see, that's what I'm gonna play. Tears of the Kingdom on. That's when I'll play it.
Oh, that's what we made it.
Yeah,
Well, you know what?
that's.
You did kind of call it because I am
I
hearing that
told you, like,
yeah. Yeah, we knew it. It's just that people were like, they want to hold out. But I knew you was gonna stick to your square. It was just too much going on for you at that time.
oh
For you to
yeah,
go back to play that
I can't
or
put.
that fidelity. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know you
that was
did.
why
Yeah, you
like
did.
Elden Ring,
Mhm.
God of War, the big ones. I'll take a break. You do a Chrono Trigger remake, I'm gonna shut the world down.
World
But
down. Already know.
I mean, we're getting a Mario RPG remaster. Like that one's definitely gonna like find a break time to go for because that one's too damn good.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, lost my train of thought.
No, you good. You're just talking about that in general, as far as the games make distract you, kind
Yeah.
of.
But yeah, and that's kind of like we don't get all the perfect pieces of the seasons. But
Yes.
it's like so Deep Dive was very good. Salvage was kind of just
Eh.
too spaced. Like the
Dungeon was amazing though.
dungeon was amazing. We're gonna get some raid, and now it could be like I've heard rumors it could be like a Crota rework. I've heard rumors of Leviathan. I've heard
Really?
Wrath that may or
Why
may
they
not
play with that?
happen. Like I
Why they
don't.
play? We know it need to be Wrath. We know it needs to be Wrath of the Machine.
The only thing
Why?
about Wrath is like it would. We were talking about this actually last week when you guys weren't here.
Let
It
me
would have to be like a Scorn reskin because there is no Siva asset in the game except
good point.
Outbreak. So
There
that may
is no
be an issue. Why? I mean,
That's a
Hive is already there. I mean, if
point.
you did Crota with a rework with Lucent Hive, now Crota would only probably pass if it tied into the story, which I've said the raids don't do.
Right. They're clearly separate.
Yeah, so it's like if it tied into the story, that'd be cool. Otherwise, like if they just rework it, see Leviathan, I think they would have to bring back all three to make it like if they did the raid layers and the raid, that would be
Yo,
that would be like a big raid race to say you got to do all three.
I feel you, but Bungie is going to nickel and dime apartment 2B and 2C of Leviathan.
Oh, I
They're going
mean,
what is it?
but
What is it?
Those aren't big enough to do for like a seasonal raid though. They're really not that long.
They're
Like they're
small.
not long enough to do like a raid race or anything like that. Because I mean, especially if you don't have raid mechanics, that raid race is going to be over in 25 minutes.
But we're going to get to that point. Once Wrath is done, Crota and those two are really small. Like that's what we started to get. That's what
Well,
raids
that's
were
why I
very
was like
frequent.
Leviathan as a lump,
Yeah.
and then Crota. The thing about Wrath is I love like how it's unique mechanics and stuff, but it almost needs a full reskin because there's not an iota of Siva in like just like in the code unless it's just like buried from D1 code. There's not a
Mm,
Siva asset in the game.
I get that. I mean,
And
but
it's like, and
technically,
maybe they'll do it. I don't know.
Maybe they just do it. I mean, and it's still separate, entity. It's going to be interesting how I need Rat, man. I need the cable guy. I need the
I mean,
what you
the
call it?
Zamboni. Like the
The
Zamboni is such a unique
Zamboni.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that's going to suck is I thought one of the coolest things was how they implemented Outbreak Prime inside the secret with the TVs. Remember, you had to go and
Oh, yeah.
unlock the thing. So now that, because technically Outbreak Perfected, we got it another way.
Yeah.
So I wanted they have to change what the raid exotic is going to be.
Well, that's
Right?
the
Think
other.
about it.
That's the other thing
Yeah.
about. That's
Wrath
the
is a
other
lot of
thing.
work.
Wrath is a lot of
You're right.
work.
Wrath is a lot of
So
work.
from the game developer, corporate cog, put
Yeah.
your hat on and be like, all right, so
Yeah,
lower
they gotta
effort,
wait.
like we can
Yeah.
inject a few Lucent Hive into Crota, or you got Cabal
Right.
already pretty much ready to jump into Leviathan.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Right.
my guess is like Wrath is the last one.
Wrath is the last
I
one.
mean, that could be like
right.
season 27, because I mean, if you think about it, you got Scourge too. I don't know if they'll bring that one back.
Yeah.
Is Crown also in Crown?
You know what's crazy? I've never beaten Crown.
No, I only did it like once or twice. I didn't do it.
Never beaten Crown.
I was first day in there. It might have been with man. No, it was first day I tried it. We were stuck on the first encounter for like 6 hours and gave up. But was Crown part of Leviathan too? Was it?
Wasn't it?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay.
So
okay, so you have Leviathan.
Right.
That's one. We've got Scourge. We've got Crota, and we've got Wrath.
Spire of Stars.
No, Spire would be all of Leviathan.
Oh, you really think they're gonna give us all of that?
No, but I'm just like, no, I'm trying to go raid groupings here because I'm trying to think of seasons, because right now we're in season going into 22.
Oh, they called it a raid layer, right? They called those
were raid layers, yeah.
Right.
So if you got 22, we get some raid reissue.
Mm-hmm.
Then new raid in final shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's 24. So 26 would be raid reissue.
Right.
That one's farther away for development time. So you could do the work it takes for Wrath. You could do a Leviathan polish.
Mm-hmm.
You've got more time for that one. And then we're obviously in year 11 at that point. But I'm like, Scourge and Leviathan are weird because they're just DCV'd. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
They need the engine work, which I know is not nothing.
Yeah.
But that's where they're at. And
those are low lift.
Lower
lower
in
lift.
Thought, yeah. Then especially then a Crota or a Wrath for sure.
Hold on, we got the homie IRL tight. I haven't seen that face in a
while.
while.
What's up, man?
What's going on? That's my dude right there. They'll call the final shit.
His bicep's the only one that's still the size of my leg, so it's fine.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Tight. I haven't talked to him. Shout out to Back for Dead. He said Crown is Leviathan that was connected to Menagerie and Season of Opulence.
Oh, that's right. So you've got the Leviathan could be like a blam, like that is the big drop. Like that could be a huge. I mean, can you imagine the raid challenge? You got to start in the basement. You got to start in the garbage collector down with what's that one called?
Oh man, I know what you're talking about. Damn, why am I blanking? It's been so long.
Chat's gonna help us today because apparently we're unprofessional podcasters who forget things. Yeah.
But see, you said garbage collector, so now you got me thinking of the Hornet ship for some stupid reason. Remember when they had the trash compactor?
Oh, Presage? Oh, different.
Yeah, you got me thinking of Presage.
No, I'm thinking of like the Leviathans.
Argos. Is it Argos?
Argos, yeah.
Argos, yes.
Argos, and I forget the name of like that actual place. So you got Argos is like I'm going like you go Argos, and I don't know where Crown sits in this whole thing. You got the regular Leviathan game. Then you got Spire of Stars above that. Eater of Worlds. Thank you. See, Eater of Worlds.
Eater of Worlds. Yes.
Garbage collecting. Yeah.
Yes.
So you would have like, can you imagine if they did a raid race and you got to go 1 and then 2 and then 3?
There's no way they're gonna.
But that would be the only way that is a D2 raid.
Yeah, layer.
No, but raid and layers, that's the only way you get away with it is if you give them all back. I think that's why I'm like, you put that into next year for the reissue. It's
for epicness, I'm with you. With epicness, I am with
you. You said lighter lift as well. So
yes,
more raids, but lighter lift. So say if we get a Wrath or a Crota now, and then we get the Leviathan thing later, and then Scourge can do whatever it does.
Here's the thing. The problem is going to be how do you officiate the raid race in segments. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna get too complicated. If
you have to beat all 3.
Are you just gonna say just beat all 3?
Possibly.
I'm shocked if they give us all that. That's a lot of content. This is Bungie.
But I mean, like, okay. So the thing about it though is like, if you go to the Leviathan, I mean, to literally get into the raid, don't you have to like? It starts from
Underbelly.
Yeah, the underbelly. So like, they're connected anyway.
Right, but even those like Eater of Worlds and all that, they were still segmented off to start. They didn't let you actually access.
But I was like, but like, if you get the Leviathan assets in there at all, then a lot of them are already there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we know.
So that's why I was like, beat all 3 and then beat them all again in challenge mode. I mean, they do that. The reissues, they do make you do challenge mode. So with all encounter challenges, I mean, but at that point you've got, because what, you had one boss fight with Callus, then you'd have Eater, and then you'd have the one that everybody would hate is doing like Spire. Everyone would hate Spire.
Val coming back. And Bungie gonna make us do that individually, and it's gonna have its own separate thing.
It's gonna be just enough of a tweak.
Gonna have one of those. Oh yeah. I know how Bungie do.
But yes, so I don't know what they're gonna do next season. They have 4 options. I don't see it being Scourge. That one just seems like a non-want, non-ask DCV D2. Not that far. That's like the newest one that we don't have.
Yeah. Decent raid though. Scourge, I gotta give Scourge some.
I mean, Scourge isn't bad. Yeah, you got the Sparrow race, you got a couple other things.
Boss fight was cool. You had the little
the cap or ACP, whatever. ACP. Oh, did you see? I saw something on Twitter. I forget the developer who made the ACP or whatever, like the call out was people like it's CAP, and they're like, or CAB, I think it was, and somebody was like, no, and like they made the raid or something like that, and they're like, oh, so officially called out or something like that.
That's dope. I did not know that.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter past through this week. I forget who said it.
Yeah, you know what you call Scarrow gonna go crazy if Spire comes back.
Oh, if Spire comes back, yeah, I'll be pumped.
Listen, Sparrow, if you listening, you better get worlds first for all this capping for this damn.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, if there's a Spire involved, you better.
It's the greatest. Oh my God, I can't wait. I love you, Scarrow, but you are out of your mind with that one. But you know what? It was another person. Was it CB Gray down with that team?
CB, yeah, there were 2. Yeah, because they were in the same podcast. They were in the same show. Yeah,
CB Gray and Scarrow, y'all gotta come to the front of the congregation with y'all damn Spire stars love. I don't get it.
Yeah. No, like if they did a Crota, if they put a Crota like rework,
oh, you're gonna go crazy.
No, but I'm like, thematically, if you got Savathun coming back, it kind of fits with the Hive.
Absolutely.
If you got Lucent Hive in there, you got a better tie with those 2 going in. You got Throne World and now you got Crota. Like thematically, it makes sense. But again, they're never connected thematically, so doesn't matter.
There is one thing I'll give you this. We used to argue. This is old Flashpoint days.
Uh-oh.
We used to always argue about.
We're gonna bring up sunsetting exotics now. We doing that?
We not going there, but
they should totally do that. So
we used to slander. I used to slander. What you call it? What you call it? The Crota. But I will say this. I want to do the first part, the jump down. You know what I'm saying? Go, and then
that's
the slow.
We have the moon in the game already, so
yeah, we got the moon in the game.
We got the opening already there, so you just load in on the moon, and now you got that one.
And I will say that raid loot was impressive.
Yeah,
we got Black Hammer. Did Black Hammer come from that?
No. Yeah, that was the start of Black Hammer to Whisper and all that crazy stuff. Yeah,
and then that was Necrochasm.
See, then you got Necrochasm as your now. Okay, now you got your exotic. So we got Necrochasm. Leviathan Leviathan weapons are like so outdated though. That would be the weird part. Those would need a full rework. I feel
full rework because that was during the no random.
Ever.
Ooh.
Yeah,
you have to admit, Leviathan weapons aesthetically are beautiful weapons.
Oh, they're clean. Yeah.
Was it Primus? We had Midnight Coup.
Yep.
What was the Pulse?
Midnight Coup was oh god.
Damn, the Pulse was nice.
I didn't have it for the longest time.
The rocket launcher was nice. I remember the rocket launcher was
not
nice.
Not anymore, but yeah.
Not anymore. And then what was the exotic one? Oh, Acreus.
Oh yeah. See, and we've already got Acreus. So like you reissue, what do you do there?
Inaugural address, my man.
There you go.
Yeah, Midnight Coup was
like
that
Crota,
like
Crota has Necrochasm for the exotic.
Woo, that's hard. Yeah.
Then you
What
got
you
the
RPM?
weapons.
Let's guess. 450, 600. What we doing now?
900.
Oh, we going 900. We going at rapid
If it's going
fire.
to be an exotic, it needs to be, right?
Is
Because it was
900?
crazy fast fire, right?
Gotta be a 720.
Necrochasm was like super fast. Somebody in
It
chat,
was.
like, it was like, brrr, it was just like, it was a spraying
Remember when they
bullets.
buffed it towards the end of D1?
Yeah.
Remember, like it got a crazy buff. They added like some extra properties to it. Yeah, Necro was be crazy. Just don't make us do that
Necro
foolishness.
was 900. See?
Get
There
it.
you go.
Oh, was that? Okay, I stand corrected. I forgot it was 900.
Yeah,
So all
it
right,
was
so
the
Necro's
it was the
9.
speedy one. Yeah.
What else? I look for? Give me some more Crota loot.
Oh god. I'm trying to even remember now. I know we had like Crotas.
Yeah, the Black Hammer is not coming back, so we could just throw that away
No,
right
yeah,
now.
I was like that won't be there.
Mm-hmm.
Abyss Defiant was the auto rifle.
Yes, Hunger of Crota was the rocket lord. That was Baby Galley. That was Baby Galley. That was me when I ain't had Galley. I was broke. I had Hunger of Crota. That was my
Hunger of
drink.
Crota. The Song of Eerie Ute was the machine gun.
Song of Eerie Ute.
Black Hammer. You got
Reginald with the fang. Okay, y'all bring it back.
Swordbreaker is the shotgun.
Yes.
Light of the Abyss is the fusion. Fang of Eerie Ute. The Word of Crota. That was the hand cannon.
Word of Crota. I like that name.
And then we also had the Abyss Defiant. That was the auto rifle.
Yes. OG 140.
And then Oversoul Edict.
What was that? What was that? Oversoul Edict.
I'm clicking on website. Let's see if it'll load. I
can't even remember. It's been so long.
Maybe it won't load. What is that? Oversoul.
He had no sniper.
I'm trying to look at what it was.
Python Pulse. Noggle Dress was the
Pulse. Yeah.
Oversoul was the Pulse as Austin did.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there was a sniper. Well, I mean, if you would have thought about raid wise.
Well, Black Hammer was a sniper. We're bugging. Black Hammer was
Black Hammer still, but they won't reissue it. So.
Yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. We got Whisper. You ain't getting that. They are not trying to have the game broken.
Yeah.
Do you think we will ever?
If you say Icebreaker, no.
Yeah, I was like, you think there's no chance. They don't do like a Hawk Moon complete property rework and just.
I mean, that's the only way. It wouldn't. It would because what was the shotgun did that too. Shotgun made its own ammo, and they would never do that either.
Yes.
The one that was like all lava, like
Invective.
Yep.
That was my baby. That was a chorus shotgun. I remember the law.
Yeah, those would have to be reworked because in PvP they'll never give you free ammo again. That won't happen.
Shout out to IRL. He said the Ethernet core the truth.
No Land Beyond and Icebreaker are never coming forward.
Oh yeah, those are hard.
Yeah.
Those are hard.
I could actually see No Land Beyond because if you had 2 bullets, but I mean, I guess it doesn't make sense now. You have kinetic snipers. It was like, why was it?
Yeah,
it was a weird one. Yeah,
it's a weird gun. Weird
Yep.
gun. That's a good point. Interesting.
I'm trying to think of what.
Zen Meteor. What was Zen Meteor? I'll tell you.
What was that? I'm trying to even remember. Zen.
Got me thinking now. All these old
Oh,
names.
it was the one where you fired and it had that big explosion. Yeah, that's what it was.
Whatever happened to the dog-faced rocket solar that used to leave like a hole,
like the big old, like the World War II airplane, like the fighter front. Yeah, that was like the napalm one.
The napalm joint, and they buffed it towards the end of D1, and yeah, I remember that one. That one should come back. That was a fun little one. I remember using that in like Prison's Elders or something. I remember that one. Big Boom Sniper Media. Dragon Breath. Voidlock got it. Voidlock got it. Yeah. Dragon's Breath. Let's go. That need to come back.
Yeah, like Plan C. That one we probably won't see.
We also need, remember the class-specific legendaries.
Yeah. Well, Talaylock's the only good one.
Talaylock. You know what I'm saying?
Was actually good.
Serious.
Fabian strategy was just garbage.
Garbage.
That was hot garbage. Ace of Spades was Hunter only. Of course, that's still good.
Of course.
No, yeah, the Titans got screwed on Fabian strategy because that was just like a crap, shaky auto rifle. Like, and then you're over here like, oh, I'm gonna hold on to my well and I'm gonna have the best scout rifle in the frigging game as a Warlock. I'm like, I think you guys won. Boolean Gemini was also bad. I never used that.
Oh yeah, I never used that. I
never felt good. Titan Auto was, let's just not talk about that. Exactly. Thank you. See, my Titan brother, we know it was crap.
I remember. Yeah, Titans they suffered on that, a class specific one. Too fun.
Well, before we get to the TWAB, I wanted to ask you, because we kind of talked about this a little last week, and we were just saying, hey, we would like to hear more from the Destiny 2 community team. And then this week, I'm sitting there going, we're probably not going to hear a damn thing from the Destiny 2 community team for like a year. I mean, if you guys haven't heard, obviously they won the lawsuit. About over was like $500,000. That dude's life is over. Don't be stupid and order pizza. As I think Cross said, is like, that was a really expensive pizza.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But it's also put a really bad, like, the community managers get a lot of crap already, and it doesn't seem to be getting better. People are not learning. People are still saying stupid stuff. I don't know if they're threatening or whatever it is they're doing. Their harassment is bad. I mean, they made the Destiny 2 team Twitter account, but it still seems that they're going after the community managers, like just people are going after them specifically and harassing them.
Terrible.
It's not that hard. We said this last week, and it was like, it's not that hard to be a decent human being.
Yeah.
It seems to be sometimes, but it should not be that hard. Because I was like, hey, because I mean, I think we were whatever week when Diablo had their campfire chat, they sat down, they were kind of joking and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, could Destiny do this type of thing? Sit down, do a live chat and stuff like that. I mean, you could, but also, again, they run risks of other things. And it's just like, that's the type of thing that they're not incentivized to do right now. And we're not helping.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not helping. I don't like what's going on. Look, we all know that there's a lot of unrest this season. There's a lot of, I call it, I'll be honest with you, I call it veteran fatigue. This is how I'm really analyzing this stuff. This is a game we've been playing, what, at least over, if we count in
9-year
D1,
anniversary for the beta, I think, was recently.
I've never played a game for 9 years. But, you know, say it's theoretically the same game.
Yeah, I was like,
right?
I think it passed WoW for me a while ago. But
Yeah, this has literally been my forever game. It's not a game that I've ever played singly this long. No, probably actually only is one. Tekken probably is one for me. Tekken in every iteration is going.
I was going to say as a franchise, yeah, I can see.
As a franchise, right? But yeah, it's awful. And the thing is, you know, to get to that level of the threats, you know, people's life in danger, that kind of stuff. Now we take it to someone else. On the flip side, though, I do want to say this to Bungie because we know Bungie does listen sometimes. It's just like, what makes Bungie is the fact they talk to their community, that they are accessible. Now, I get it. The rules of engagement may have to change, right? You can't do the same things, but I don't feel we should not get the vidocs anymore. Like, I don't feel we should get, because if it's sit down, you know, whether it's or pre-recorded, you know, just still talk to the people, talk to the community. That is a huge deal because I mean I'm going back to the Deej days, right? Where you get that sit down and it was theater, man. It was theater. What's coming? You know, here's what you know. We had famous highs, famous lows, 2 tokens in the blue, but we had moments where they were talking to us and trying to understand what was going on. So I think that's what it is. I'm with Titan on that. Like I think dudes need to chill out, take a break. Look, we get it.
Did you see Dado's video today?
I ain't see Daddle J. What do you
He
got?
literally was just like, some of y'all need to take a break. That was the video.
Yeah,
I mean, we've talked about it on here. How many other games do we talk about? I just spent 20 minutes talking about Remnant. Like,
it's like it doesn't. All you're doing to be that angry at a game, right? All you're doing is doing self-inflicted punishment. Go play something else. It doesn't need, because what it is you know people. This is the testament to the game. People are so addicted to the game, they don't want to leave the game, and then they want to complain. And I'm like, that's the part I don't understand. Leave, take a break, bro. It's other stuff. And that's why Destiny is always refreshing to me. Because when I come back, I'm like, it's home. Here's my music. Here's my gunplay. You know what I'm saying? It always feels good to take a little break here and there, and that's it. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. I hope, again, Bungie, if you're listening, I know you guys are going through it. This is a rough season. From a veteran fatigue standpoint, from the OGs maybe not be at their happiest right now. We get that. And we know that there's plans coming on with the final shape and things that may have leaked or may not have leaked. I don't know if we discussed it or not. But I don't know if you saw that, E. I know you saw that.
For what?
I know you saw that.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So anyway, another darkness thing.
A certain symbol thing that made
a certain symbol. And, you know, I know what's going on. You got stuff cooking. But please, don't stop giving the community of yourself. Just do it in a different way. Like I said, if it's pre-recorded, we need to see you. We need to hear you, kind of thing. And I know the twabs are what the twab do. We get it. But the extra step was always seeing them in that vidoc and that kind of stuff. That's the Bungie I know. The goofy, the fun. Like when I watch the marathon thing, I'm like, okay, that's classic.
That
You know
felt,
what I mean?
yeah.
That's the feels that we like for how excited we used to see them get. They're like, yo, you're going to love this new feature. And now, Warlocks and Titans can do this. And, what I'm saying? They used to get like, we're capturing this. Don't just save it for the expansion and the big stuff. Still give us a little seasonal love. And I think that goes a long way. And hopefully they get it together. But I honestly think this is a lot of just pure fatigue of a 9-year plus game. Guys, take a break. If you that serious, you need to really reevaluate yourself if you're going to take it to a level of attacking a person like that. And that part I'm not with.
I'm like, I know keyboard warriors get this like high and mighty attitude because they don't have anything. It's like, it's not that hard to think. It's like, would you ever say 99.99% of the internet stuff if you were going to say it to somebody's face? I'm like, say it to my face. You might be bigger than me, but you still might not say the same exact words and come off like a complete fill in whatever blank you want for superlative there. But I'm like, you're not going to say that stuff in person. It should not be any better on the internet just because you can type it under an anonymous handle and get away with what you think it is. And whether you're 12 or 62, it doesn't matter if you're still being an asshole. It doesn't. Like, it does not matter. And that's kind of the thing is like, you need to take a break, get some perspective. Like I told you, like I tried Redfall for 2 hours. And as soon as I fired that gun, I was like, oh my God, Destiny feels amazing. Like, and that's kind of thing. It's like, I'll play. And one of my comments on my Remnant review was like, is it first person? I'm like, no. And I was like, honestly, probably because they know first person is so hard to nail. And you've only got a few that do it right. And everything's still going to have their feels. But I'm like, Destiny, Call of Duty, Apex, you're going to have a few first persons that do it well.
Yeah.
And like have, kind of respect among like all of the communities. But it was like gunplay they got. And and if you go step outside the Destiny universe and go play other things, for one, you'll realize what's lacking, but two, you'll also be like, hey, this was a fun game. And you come back and you shoot your gun and be like, that, as you said, it feels right. It like sitting back in that like comfy, like recliner chair, like an old man sitting as a lazy boy or something like that. You're like, oh, all right, so I got my PS17 here and my little DualSense Edge 82, and I'm going to sit back and play season 127 of Destiny. It's like, it's going to be your game. It's going to be there, but it's like, it helped. I mean, that's why I was like, I would love to play Tears of the Kingdom, totally work a different part of my brain. And then you come back and you're like, oh yeah, it still feels good to click heads.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely.
It's like, yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like Dada's video is just take a break. I'm like, we've said that for years. And I think and that's what helps me have a sane relationship with it.
That's the key.
I was like, we've been doing a podcast for 5 years and but that's the thing. It's like, I may make content and then I may turn around and go do something else. And I try not to live in this thing because it's hard to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I guess we have been spoiled for all the years of living in this game. This is really unprecedented territory with a game like this.
And well, that's the thing too, is I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No,
I don't want to steal your thunder because I know you're probably going the same place I was about to.
We go in the same spot, which is like, kudos to Bungie. Think about how difficult it is to continually, season after season, expansion, reinvent yourself and make people engage with your game. Regardless of how you feel about Bungie right now or how Destiny right now, the state of it, you cannot take that away from them. They have always had a way to consistently make you come back in some form. I've seen the hardest of the hardcore. Yeah, bro, that's it, bro. I'm done with it, bro.
I mean, Steam charts, it's down to 11 on Steam charts. I'm like,
I see them all the time. That's why I know how it's cyclical. It's like the circle of life.
Yeah.
You have fun, new expansion, hot, everybody, yeah. Then the season happens here and there that we don't like. People fall off. Bungie does something that we don't like. All right, I'm angry. You go away. You come. It's the circle of life with this game, bro. I've learned to accept it, but it's great because you always come back. There's nothing else like it. Yeah, I've seen the dudes with the I'm quitting Destiny shirts and channels all the time. Like I see, I laugh. I don't at this point. I don't even get mad at them. I'm like, I see you in a bit. You taking a break.
But that's like, no, it's like, but that also, there's a flip side to that coin. It's like, we don't love everything that they do. Like when it comes, monetization is like Aztecross just accumulated
Oh,
a video, but I was like, we've talked about all that stuff over the course of like 6 years. Like
mhm,
we've talked about
yeah,
Travis has been hardcore going on it, and I know he's not here to say it, but it's also
mhm,
the things it's like it's really crappy monetization policies to say you can only get like, 1500 silver to be able to buy the season. You can't directly buy a season, or the season pass having the harmonizers in them. And it's like, and it was like this weird beta test, but it was only in the season pass and only in the paid pass to make it worthwhile. Like, there are decisions that they make that I 100% don't agree with, whether
mm,
they're chosen by like the financial department or this or that or the other. And it's like, there are times when I'm sitting there, I'm like, what are y'all thinking? Does
yeah.
not make sense. I hate it when I say y'all. I really do. I try not to.
Nah, you good.
I
You
let
you
one
text
sneak out. I let one sneak out.
the Texas out. We like it. But no, that's a good point, and that's the thing that I like about what we do. Shout out to Travis as well, which is we called it out. Like those there's still things that we know is like Bungie. Come on, like stop. We know this is way too egregious kind of thing. And yeah, I despise the fact. Yup, that
Yeah,
cross-platform
I live
purchases.
on one platform, so I don't even think about that. And you mentioned, I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah, on Ally, I'm like, oh great, I don't have anything anymore. I have to. Oh, you don't have Shadowkeep. You can't do this, and I couldn't do like a Nightfall or something. I'm like, really?
yep,
I was like, oh, this is
yeah.
Shadowkeep.
I've
I'm
heard,
like,
yeah. If you
wow.
go through what is actually free and what's not, there's a lot of stuff. It is a free to try game. That is what like
Yeah,
that
Travis said it best.
is yeah, that is free to try. It is not free to play
Yeah.
because you miss a lot more than you might think about when it comes to all those
Mhm.
things. But yeah,
Absolutely.
that's where I would wonder their long. I know their numbers show great. We're doing good right now. We got a lot of players, but also it's like,
Actually,
well, okay. But I was gonna say like, you may log in on a Tuesday for like an hour and bail, as
yeah,
opposed like
true.
the hourly engagement versus the numbers. And even if the numbers go
Mhm.
down, but mine is more of a like, I can sit down with the CFO and go like, all right, I know I'm a player and I know you're a CFO. We're on different levels. Like I reported to a CFO, so I'm not dumb, but like, when it comes to the long-term life of Destiny 2, I don't know what you have on the horizon for Final Shape. I don't know what you have on the horizon for year 11. I don't know if there's this brand new next gen only refresh that's going to happen if we go to a different solar system. I mean, yeah, we could all dream, sure.
Mhm.
But it is still going to have Destiny 2 on the box, most likely, because
Most
if you go
likely.
to a
Yeah.
Dota 2 thing, it's still going to have the 2 on the box because of like
Right.
naming and trademarks and business and all that stuff. The new player experience at times, and then or the free to try experience is questionable. So it's like when we had Travis's buddies on back in like end of December, when it was me
Mhm.
and Travis and his two buddies, the pop-up windows and like the bad
Wow.
monetary purchases. I'm like, what I heard of just like the word friction when it comes to business is something you don't want somebody to engage with. You do not want them to have
Yeah.
friction. You want to make it as easy as possible for them to try and get over the hump to be like, hey, this is kind of fun. Let me buy it. And be like, hey, you want to buy everything? Here's the package.
Mhm.
Do you want to buy? And it's like, no, you got to buy this or this or this or this or this. And it's like, they're finally going to be like, no, 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 buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that would be my question is the whole onboarding of new players and separation of all the, you know, buying 12 different versions of the game, all those things. That's where I wonder on the long term of like, you can only bleed so many players and
Mhm.
they seem to get a bunch of new ones.
They do.
But
They
so
do.
that's like a question where they're like, look at these numbers. Why do we have to change? And that may be the case. But I was like, if you want this franchise to go year 11, year 13, year what, like, if you want this 10-year to be a 15-year plan,
Mhm.
I feel like there's a point where they've got to, like, they do have to make some choices that are good for the gamer, not just
Yeah.
for the bottom line. And I think that's the ones
Absolutely.
where it feels like sometimes they are missing on some of those lately.
No, I agree. I mean, I think right now though, I can only speak on the console side. I could just talk to Xbox. Usually Xbox, I get a good gauge of where Destiny's at,
Oh, you said
and
it was
it
like
is
the top.
it's finally dropping now. I am starting to see it drop. It is normally right around that top 10, flirts between as high as 7, 6, which is impressive, right? For Destiny, an old game like that, the top 10 of play most played. But then it kind of usually teeters out, but still in the 10, maybe 9 to 10. Now it's out of the 10. It's 20. It's behind Exo Primal. It's behind a lot of stuff. Major MLB the show. So people have dropped. Now, granted, it's the end of the season, right?
Right. I
We're
mean, yeah,
close
it's a
to end. So I'm not going to get too crazy. So I'm very curious to see, okay, new season, where does it, happen? But this is the lowest I have seen it. in a while on Xbox on the console side. So to me, those are signs, and we have to be honest now with the fact that a lot of the major influencers have either said they are not playing anymore, they are frustrated, they're going on, and I don't know if that also is permeating down now that people like. I get the idea that people who don't play Destiny are coming to me and say, "Hey, yo, what's going on with Destiny, bro? I'm hearing things like what's going on." So I wonder if that's permeating a bit in conjunction with what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a combination of a lot of things. The sentiment in the community, the amount of games that are out there for other options, and
Right.
then it's just like, I mean, that's where I screamed about it a while ago. Sunsetting was done poorly, but is not a bad idea. And there's a lot of people when the joke of like, what is the worst thing that can happen to a live service game? Apathy. When you get a gun and you don't care, when you stop caring about the loot that drops, it's going to
Mhm.
be really hard for you to like log in and do more than jump around the tower for 10 minutes and log out.
You're right.
Like if you get to the point to where like, hey, there's a cool gun to go get. Now I was looking through seasons. I was going back. I was like, all right, what seasons are we coming up on in the cycle of the course of the year? Because we're like, hey, season of the deep. It was a pretty good season, but we got some, questionable feelings going on. Previously in slot 3 of 4 of the year, we had Plunder,
Ooh, boy.
we had Worthy, and we had
Boy.
Splicer. Splicer's the
Mhm.
best of those three.
I like Splicer.
Yeah, Splicer's the best of those three. But I mean, if you put Splicer next to Lost and Chosen,
Yeah.
doesn't hold up. If you put Plunder next to Seraph, Hunted, or Risen, everybody like Catch Crash, but not much else. And then again, what's coming next? Like, now, granted, like the stories have been cool. Maybe they got some fun. Like, we'll see what happens. But it's also like this is the cycle of like the one that may not have as much behind it because they got to go hard for 23 because they got to ramp to final shape to build the hype stuff. So it's like if we're here now and then we go into a season that we know has to be this like 5-week wait for the voicemail from Savathun thing, and then finally on week 6 we actually get to talk to her.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be a journey. Like it is. I mean, Travis said it best a while ago. He's like, this is gonna be a long year. And I think like if we're where we are now, I think it's showing that. I think it is gonna be a long year. Like even with the, I wanted to actually ask you the veil containment. Have you kept up or checked on that thing?
No, I have not really checked.
I have not touched it. There's a buttload of story in there.
Oh, really?
Weeks upon weeks upon weeks and weeks of story. Huge revelation last week, which like now the thing is I could go log in, go over there and I can sit there and play them all. So I could go get all of them now.
Yeah.
But one of the big, like we got the
Break
light.
it down.
No, I haven't actually. I mean, basically
okay.
one was about Lakshmi. So you should probably go play for just her.
Make the tower great again is back.
No, it's more history of like, it's kind of a cool thing. But like this season, we got the stuff about the witness, and we are getting the stuff from Veil Containment. They said Veil Containment is going to be this like delivery device that continues on. And they stated this year they wanted to try and deliver the story in a different way. And I guess next season will be kind of another tell to see how the story, like if the arc connects better, but the story feels so time gated, it's kind of painful. It's it's something. What?
Yeah, the delivery of it. What's up?
Oh no, Travis just sent me a message.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the delivery of it is gonna be interesting. I gotta see. But yeah, the veil thing has just been so weirdly handled. I don't know what to do with the veil right now. And it's just like now you're telling me with containment is just so much like really cool lore in it. And I'm just like, oh great, that'd have been awesome in the game, legit meaning like in a cinema or a storyboard or something. But yeah, they're trying this new approach, and I don't necessarily agree with this the way this is handled. And to me, it does feel like it's more tied to monetization, reveal it through the course of seasonal content, as opposed to an expansion that told us nothing and kept us in a holding pattern, is where I'm at. So it is what it is.
There was something in my review that may have been misinformation for
Remnant.
And so
I did not hit you back and be like, yo, the paragraph 3.
No, he told me something and I kind of extrapolated something from it. And I may have been leading people to think I didn't overdo it because what he had told me was kind of a guess or an estimate. So I did the math and I was like, okay, that would probably be crazy to say. So I said in my review, I said there's over 100 combinations of archetypes.
Mhm.
So it's like this and this, and you could have this one
Mhm.
with all of these, and then this one with all of these, and this one with all
Mhm.
of these.
Mhm.
I may have been a little high on the math.
On the Mac. Oh, go on the
Yeah,
high. Okay, okay.
yeah, I
You
may have been a
got
little
really
high. I don't think I totally went crazy, but
okay.
I may have overshot. Is all I'm saying. So there may be some comments later on when the internet dissects the game tomorrow and like being like, we know exactly where everything is now and all these things. Like your review's wrong. I'm like, I know. Yeah.
It's all good. Learning experience, man. Good, proud of you. Did your first like big one. Really, really big one.
Yeah, it's actually doing reasonable
Mhm.
so far. I mean, it's a bigger game too, so it's just gonna get more
Yes.
traction than Thymesia did. Thymesia
Mhm.
was just a smaller game, so it's doing all right. So,
No doubt, no doubt.
um,
What's going
sorry,
on,
the
man?
dogs are trying to kill each other.
I heard it for a little bit, but they're good now.
Yeah, I was like, I think they're going a little crazy. Do you want to kind of
Mhm.
like basically the only thing on the TWAB is all right, Solstice. Have you played it?
No, I'm gonna play it tonight though. That's
Um,
the plan.
do you know anything of
I
what's
know what's
going
going on. Yeah, I
on?
watched your video. Yeah, I watched your video. I
Yeah,
watched your
like
video.
talk to
Yeah,
me.
I saw it. Yeah. So look, we're back with the bonfires and all that good stuff. And, you know, I want to, obviously Strand, from my understanding, is really good, moving around here. This event, look, you know what's crazy? I really started off liking this event for when it first introduced to the EAZ, the verticality of it moving around. I don't hate it. Then they changed it to the bonfire thing, and now it's stoking this thing. And now it looks like the path is much clearer with the actual like seasonal card kind of thing as far as what you got to do. Highly recommend watching these videos because it's very, informative on what to do with it. But just overall, it does feel light outside of, obviously the Stasis rocket launcher, and then there are basically new random rolls on some of the older what you call it weapons, bonfire kind of weapons. So some of the combinations do excite me for that, but this is not like super high engagement I'm feeling right now. And I'll be honest, the main deterrent for me right now, I'm not really feeling these solstice outfits this year. I'm
Yeah, a
not
lot of
feeling.
people said the glows are minimalist.
Yeah, minimalist glow that I'm getting like this glorified doorman vibe from these suits. Like I feel like I'm the most executive level person in front of the tower leading people in. But that suit don't give me the energy that I need. So yeah, I'm gonna fire it up. I'll give it a shot. I'll see what's good. I do want the what is it, Strand rocket, right? It's a Strand rocket. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
unfortunately, mm-mm.
the rolls. Oh damn! What's the rolls?
No, I
I
don't
heard
think there
envious.
is one.
There's no god roll on this bad boy. What's the
I mean, so it's a precision frame. I think it's already 20% weaker, so it's not that good.
damn?
Um,
Hmm.
Browning there. Yeah, I was like, I don't think. I mean, some people
We could do what we could do.
you could do field prep and envious assassin.
Envious. Yeah, there you go. Field prep. Envious. All right. All right.
That's like probably it. Because
That's
I mean,
probably.
hatchling on a rocket launcher, no.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That,
Let
no.
me get rapid hits with a rocket launcher and spawn one little threadling who goes like,
Hiya!
I mean, like adrenaline junkie. I'm like,
Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
I mean, yeah, basically, yeah, it would be field prep for the reload speed and you crouch, and then envious assassin for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
extra
Basic kills.
reloads.
I wonder what's the max on the envious though. What do you give us like 3, 4 rockets?
I'm trying to think. Something else has envious, and I think you can get up to 3. I think.
3.
I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be a good way to start a DPS phase, but then when you're done, if you're crouched with
Mhm.
field prep, then you can have decent reload speed. You
3.
get the inventory size. That's probably about it. But it's like,
Mhm.
and then once per reload, assists or assisted final blows partially refill the magazine from reserves with Dreamwork. That's the origin trait. Like
Mm.
it,
All
it's
right.
fine, but I don't think it's like, do you need to grind out 1,000 bonfire
No.
bashes for it? If you got a
No.
decent rocket, you're probably okay.
Yeah, it just you get it, you hold on to it. Bungie at some point will buff precision rocket launchers, and then you'll bust that bad boy out from the vault on that fateful day happens. But yeah, to me, the incentive is just not really there for me that hard. I will jump in there just to see it. I do like the actual event. I've always liked the EAZ, but again, like anything else, we have event fatigue also, right? We've
I
been
mean,
doing these things.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's the same thing it's 5 years old.
yeah, it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, this is where they're gonna really long term need to reevaluate events, and it's long overdue. Like
Yeah.
it's we're getting into that samey cadence, and you either have to take some away, bring some new ones in, just try different things because it's getting too formulaic with this, and it's almost like you're just submitting in this
It's
homework
just
that you
like,
know.
here's the free Eververse holiday of the month or of the semester, and it's just like the EAZ is the one they could eat. I don't want to say easy. Again, not a developer, so I always feel like I'm talking, out of
Mhm,
context. But they developed a zone, and then they like you used to have to like go run up here and find this guy, and run over here and find these guys, and now it's just like the 4 main areas that you can basically stand in the middle and see, and then you can chunk the bonfire or the igniter from like halfway across the map.
mhm,
Um, it's it's got potential because it's its own zone. You've got like nooks and crannies and buildings and things. And then at first there was more effort into it and stuff like that. And some people got annoyed, but
mhm.
the space is there. They just need to get creative with the space. Like Festival of Lost going to Lost Sectors, I can see where, that's kind of hit or miss. Then you got baking cookies everywhere, and then you got snowballs. Like some are going to take a little more work, but EAZ already, you have a space to work with. Just do something different in there. Like change up how the game mode works. Because I was even doing my little here's how Solstice works video, and I was showing a bonfire bash run, and then we got through with all of the igniters where you got to kill the guys and throw them in the bonfire. The boss spawns and he's dead in 10 seconds. I was like, and that's not really anything I need to tell you about. So we go get back. Like the boss is not. You don't even have the big like. You have a centurion
Mhm.
and you have like an ogre, and that's it. You don't even have like the witch who like separates and does the
Oh
pulse and
yeah, they
stuff
used to poke
before.
some thing. I
Yeah,
remember
that
that.
one's
Yeah.
gone. But
Oh
also, I think that
wow.
witch was part of what was the strike that she was in that's not in the game anymore?
Oh, yeah, I do
Blood.
remember. Oh yeah, the blood where she used to split into two
Yeah.
and then come back.
Yep.
That's right. That strike is gone, right?
hmm Yeah, they removed that strike. They
Ooh,
removed the.
that was a strike too. I remember that one.
They removed.
'Cause
It
you
was
had
the
the little
strike that
purple
had
things
like a
in it
lot of
on.
taken,
Brood
and then it
Weaver.
Broodweaver, yeah. What was the There was
Mhm.
the strike with like a lot of taken, and there's a big spherical like final boss room,
Oh, yes. That was when we first ever
and you had
heard
like the
about
big laser
Graviton.
beams like going by.
Yes,
Broodhold,
that's brutal. That strike was very good. That was the first time I remember
and
Eris
that
was
one's gone.
yeah, that was a long strike. I remember that strike. That was a long strike, and you had all the little puzzle parts where the walls would come at you, and you end up in that last room. Yeah, it used to be a PlayStation exclusive strike. You're right, Back for Dead. I remember that at one point.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's just I played it some, but as I was working more on Remnant, I'm like, do I want to log into Destiny or do I want to log into Remnant? I put 50 hours in Remnant, and I would be happy to go through whole of the run through of Remnant again, then go play more of the EAZ because I'm like, and also it seems like the armor we're getting in Solstice is like
Hmm.
62, 63. I haven't seen, and even Cross said it in his videos. Like, if you guys see like a 65, 66,
Let
if
them
you
know.
see high levels, let him know. Because honestly, yeah, you can focus him in, but if you're only getting the 62s, you're not really that great. Like, it's because I did a couple of focusing, and I'm not going to probably put too much time. I might go for the seal just because it's actually not that bad of a seal to get. It really
Okay.
wasn't. I think the longest one is going to be like 10 Crucible or Strikes or
Okay.
10 Crucible or Gambit, and then Strikes is about the same.
Mhm.
I think right now Neptune is kind of broken. Like the activities you got to do on Neptune to do it, like Terminal Overload doesn't seem to do anything. Some stuff is
Oh,
hit or miss in what you get for progress.
oh
I think that's
no.
the one that's an issue. I haven't tested the Dares one yet, so we'll
Hmm.
see. Or it's like Dares or what's the Dreaming City activity?
The what you call
Blindwell, yeah. So I think it's
it?
dream. It's so like I mean, if
Mhm.
you find a Blindwell in action, that's probably going to be okay. But yeah, the Neptune stuff seems to have some bugs right now. Team
Ah,
Scorched, yeah. Team
Team
Scorched is up right now. Do it this week.
oh, take Christmas was bad. All right, that's the hustle. All right, all
Yep.
right. You know they gonna find community gonna find a way.
Oh yeah. Yep.
No doubt. Hmm.
But yeah, Solstice is kind of like you've gotten a 66 and two 65s. Okay. Well, you're up there at least. Mine were junky. Mine were not I mean, I re-rolled them a couple of them, but it was just like unless it's just like I mean, I have good enough armor everywhere, but even for me, just testing it is like I wasn't seeing that much. And then we cross set it, I'm like, all right, it's going to be rare that you see him that high. Then, so it's
Ooh.
how much effort is it worth?
Do you ever think they will offer artifice armor in a seasonal event?
Art? No, hell no. They don't even put it in a master raid, and it should be there. It should be in a master raid. There is no reason to have the hardest 6-person activity in the game not drop Artifice Armor. I don't understand it. That is one of those questions I'm like, Joe, I gotta know, why is it not in there? And if you tell me it's because you want to see engagement in dungeons and raids, you're shooting raids higher difficulty in the face. I'm sorry. Put it in both. Put cool guns in both and put cool armor in both, and people will play both. But you don't put those master raids in there. No one want no.
Yeah.
Artifice armor at a seasonal activity though.
I know I'm asking a lot. I'm just like,
no, you are asking for the moon or $1 million or to be married tomorrow. It's like none of those things.
Look, man, I'm trying to shoot for the stars. I got to shoot a shot. Something. We got to do something.
Shoot for the stars. Just play Sea of Stars instead. You know, I would actually.
Damn.
No, I saw. Who did I see was playing it? Because I think. Hey. Nope.
Watching your kids fight.
Yeah, no. Midnight's trying to dig at the floor. He gets fixated on a piece in the floor and digs. No, the demo's on Xbox for free of Sea of Stars. I would just be curious if you go play it and if you can even do the opening little story thing and go walk around the map. You'll walk to a zone. It won't let you go in the zone, but you can sit there and listen to music. I just want you to listen to a little bit of it and then play. It took me 90 minutes to beat the demo.
Oh, I'll definitely do that because that's your man from Chrono. That's the
Chrono guy. The Chrono composer is a guest on it, and then I think there's also a main composer, but the Chrono guy did guest. And one of them is hey, listen to one of the tracks by him. I'm like,
oh, you take it back.
Yeah, it was there.
So much. I'll jump in for a little bit. To be honest, my jumping in for Destiny right now is I want to get, obviously I got the exotic out, the Wicked Implement and stuff like that, but I really want to get some better rolls for the dungeon. I want to do ghosts. I want to get the lore. I really need the damn shotgun. I need to, if you got if people are doing
which shotgun?
Nazareth.
Oh, yeah.
I need that, man. I need that. So right now I'm just farming. Anybody got them Nazareth checkpoints? Let me get in there weekly with y'all. I want to start the routine. I got to get that going, and I do need to. The ghost of the deep dungeon, I do like, and I need to run that more.
Yeah, I need to get the exotic from there.
Yeah, I don't got the exotic. I don't really have a lot of weapons and stuff from that either. So yeah, that's really what I'm going to be kind of finalizing the season for me.
In-game grinding.
Yeah, I need Engram. I want to be ready. You know what I'm saying? To kind of back, you need to learn it too. I want
video for that. I have a very long walkthrough video to show you every step of the way back from the dead.
Back from the dead. Ebontis has a video. You need to check that out.
There's an app for that. There's a video for that.
There's a video for that, sir. I actually like that dungeon a lot. So that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to try to just get the end. And I haven't run, bro. I haven't run Last Wish since the Borders came out.
I farmed some. So that will be the final week of the season.
I need to get in there.
I farmed some. I unlocked I got partial progress on literally everything. So I unlocked nothing.
So you got all this little bit. Oh wait, question. All right, this is what I got. This is a good one.
It's easy to farm though. It really is.
What are you using your? What is it? The resonances on the one. You've been holding on.
I have all of them.
You can't. You got to use them. You can't do anything with it. You got to use it.
I could wait till next season and pull them out of the season pass.
Oh, so you just left them in the season pass?
Oh, they're just sitting there.
There's nothing you want to work towards?
Well, the only thing is from Last Wish, but I know I can just sit there and farm those indefinitely.
What about your Root of Nightmares weapons?
I just haven't run the raid. No, I just haven't run the raid that much. I'm like you. I need to.
Rufus is sick. I lucked out.
No, I got the auto rifle unlocked.
Okay.
I do have. Yeah, is that Rufus, right?
Yeah, that's Rufus.
Yeah.
Rufus.
I have that unlocked and crafted. That's the only one I have, though. The shotgun has the destabilizing repulsor.
What they just said? Why don't you use them on the Last Wish weapons, sir?
Use them on the Last Wish.
Hold it up. This is vintage hoarding. Let me hear it.
Okay, here's the difference, though. If I would much rather actually, Last Wish is you can farm Cali until you are blue in the face. So when I find people to farm, it feels dumb to waste a very limited current. Now, they could probably come out next week and be like, we're going to give you 1,000 of these, and it's not going to matter. I'm like, yeah, then that's fine. But I'm I can farm Last Wish for those red borders very easily. I would much rather spend them on Root, because that is more of a lively engaged raid, less of a drop rate. I would put them there on something that I want. But yeah, Last Wish, I'm like, no, just kill Callie until she drops everything. She's the easiest fight. If you do the challenge when it's featured, go pull the chests from like under the pillar thing. Like, there's enough ways that Last Wish I'm not worried when it's farmable. I'll get them. Root would be if I need to run Root, but Root would be where I would put those, if anything, because that's the only place, right? Because Dungeon's not craftable. I'll get everything from the season, which they're only half, so there's not that many there. So yeah, it would be Root there that I would use them on right now.
And Ghost is not craftable.
Ghost is not.
Correct. So dungeons are not craftable.
Yeah,
Which is
it's like,
interesting.
yeah. I mean, so for me, like, there's only so many places I would use them, and that would just be like raid loot, and that's fine. But also when it comes to like an average player who's missed, like, hey, they started playing in Nightfall and they've got like 8 seasons of stuff they're trying to catch up. I'm like, good luck trying to see if Xur sells that one crazy thing that you're going for. It's like, the people who want Ikelos right now, I am sorry. I am so sorry. Like, ouch. I mean, that's one of those that's like, what would you use them on? That would be the first weapon that because like you could technically farm Root, you could farm Last Wish, you cannot. So if you see one of those, that's probably the first place I would put it. Is
mine I used was I really, you know what's my dad bod gun?
It's not a pulse rifle because that's mine.
It is mine. Oh. It's the spiral. It's the I love. What is it? The psychedelic spiral. The one that you got to get on Neomuna. That the drop rates are very bad.
Oh, that's the only one I have crafted from Neomuna.
Bro, that's the one I crafted.
The only one I have crafted. Well, the Neomuna drop rates. Can we talk about that for a second?
Let's talk about it.
Those suck. They're so bad.
I have been farming
Philo-tactic spiral.
Philo-tactic spiral. I have been farming that whole routine for the past month.
I don't want to because it's so bad and it's so poorly designed. And then they chop the drop rate down when you were just trying to farm exotic, like, or the heroic, not the elite events or whatever. I'm like, then they got rid of those. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Screw you.
Here's the disrespectful part about it. When you finally do the trick and you go to orbit and you go back and you're looking for the what is it, the higher version of the bounty,
the elite bounties or whatever they're called.
You come back, you finish it, you finally get it to appear, and then it drops blues and regular items that are not even in the loot pool.
I don't think you can do that. I don't think those drop them anymore, do they?
I think
they made some change where they don't drop from the heroics and it's just like public events or something now. And that's why I was like, I'm out. Why you're going to make the drop rate less? Yeah, see, Austin says they don't. Like, why they're going to make the drop rate less on something that people already struggled with, I don't understand.
Get it from Nimbus on a level up.
Nimbus level 148 in Nimbus, and I've only gotten 2 patterns so far. Well, Ronan, thank you for telling me something I'm not going to farm.
So luckily, I somehow, during the Lightfall campaign, was able to get at least 2 of them or 3 of them borders to drop. So I have used it now, and I have a spiral, and I'm rocking. I got the Volt Shot.
That's actually probably a better use Volt to put them on it than even Vow. At least I know, or not Vow.
Which one?
Like a raid, you at least know you can run if you want to. The freaking Neomuna guns are harder to get than raid weapons right now. Like, what the hell, guys? This is again when I want to sit down with like, all right, the rewards team or whoever, what the name of that team is, I don't know, but like, why is it? Sorry, you probably heard me mixing up.
Yeah, you good. Give me an advanced UG, sir.
This is the rainbow candy hydration.
Okay, how's that one, sir?
It tastes like Skittles. You are drinking Skittles. That is literally what it is. Like,
what's it called? The rainbow hydration?
Rainbow burst. It's one of the hydrations, but you're drinking Skittles.
Okay.
Somebody got 67 stat legs for their Titan. I think you won the lottery. Go buy a ticket. Even though I think somebody just won the $1 billion lottery, so maybe wait a week. But
no doubt.
Yeah, it's just like what?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Like, I mean, I don't want to make the engagement so painful. I just don't want to do it. Like if it's going to be, a chance at something, put it in a couple of places. I mean, Wyatt's not got a chance from Terminal Overload, public events, the elites. I mean, what's there's the thing you go run where you got like the sparrow racing and stuff to do. Right. Put him in all of those places. I mean, you'll have people at least playing on Neomuna. Neomuna's already literally a ghost town. Why are you making it worse?
And I actually don't mind walking around. I actually like the challenge of Neomuna, being around it. Like,
Yeah,
I actually like to test the efficiency of builds that I have to see if they're actually good. I go to Neomuna and see if I can survive stuff. But like, yeah, to your point, like, yeah, it's just really horrible. But anyway, that gun, finally, I got it, and I think over under is getting buffed soon in a patch.
I think it.
So I'm looking. Did it get buffed already?
I don't know if it's
Because
this
I haven't
one.
played this thing.
Hold
Was it in
on.
the latest patch notes?
Because
Oh,
there
I
were a
know
couple. It
Volt
was like
Shot.
over under, and then
I'm gonna tell you right now. This is what I
weapons,
learned about that gun.
exotics,
Ian.
ability, perks. No, it was gut shot and slick draw. That was the two.
Okay, so yeah, next season I think over under gets the buff. So I got a over under and Volt Shot now version of it because I actually I got the borders. That gun, I realize Volt Shot is not created equal for every gun. That gun, Volt Shot, is amazing. Like, it is sick. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, oh, shout out to Forte.
Shout out to Forte. $5 super chat. My monthly penance to the Church of the Last Word. Haven't started the exotic quest yet, and I refuse to fish. Here, the gun sucks. Is it worth it? So Forte,
Let's
the
talk
nice thing
about it.
is, you just need to find someone else who did the fishing. You don't actually have to fish.
Yep.
Find somebody else who fished. Somebody in
Got you.
somebody in matchmaking might have actually fished. You never know. I
Yeah,
wouldn't actually. It'd probably be easier to find people because I know you know people. But yeah, you don't have to fish. Just find somebody else who did.
Forte, me, Sinister, Screen got the fish. Holla at us. We got you.
That's the
We'll
only thing they did right on that.
Yes, thank God. Like that, for not everyone having to have it is great. And now that quest is fun. Now, to his question,
is it worth it? Okay, so I don't really think it's going to be that. It needs love. But then also, I saw somebody in my Discord say Whisper of Rhyme. When you pick up a shard, it gives you an overshield.
Oh, yeah.
Also is not great. Like, it got hit.
Yes.
It reduced the overshield amount from 100 to 50 and reduced the overshield gain from 12 to 5.
Agreed.
And now non-player combatants deal 50% damage to Whisper of Rhyme shield. So they do a little less, but it's weaker, it's smaller. Basically, like, and that's one of those things. If you picked up a crystal from far away, that would be giving you an overshield, and now that's basically kind of useless. So they kind of killed it twice.
The only good thing about it would be end-game content. If you're trying to freeze champions, stuff like that, it is very easy to do that. But for the amount of effort for that gun, it needs more love. It needs to feel a little bit more exotic. The overshield is definitely meh. I agree. Awesome one. And they did, at least Bungie has come out and said publicly. I thought I could have sworn I seen it.
Last week they said they're going to buff it.
Yeah. They were like, yeah, it needs love. So it's coming. I would say, Forte, let me know, bro. I'll rock it with you. That quest is dope to get it. Like the quest.
Fun. Yeah, like the time mission. Yeah.
Time mission, classic Bungie energy. You're gonna love that mission. But yeah, and I've got the catalyst. I grinded the catalyst, did the whole thing, and I'm just like, yeah, he's still a little bit more love on this, a little more power.
I mean, it's a 180. It feels like it needs to hit harder. I mean, yes, technically it'll work on champions, but no, it's like they were worried about the like slowing in PvP, and I'm just like,
but you still got to get precision shots.
Right. And it takes like 3 or 4 to kill somebody. So you might get 1 kill and then you might slow one other person.
Yeah, it's not good. I'm like, come on. And what's weird is they usually come in hot when they drop a new
and this thing came in like a wet noodle.
For all this, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to make you go through a timed mission with a tormentor at the end who wants to just eat your lunch, and you're going to give me a what felt like junk gun.
Agreed. But shout out to you though, because after we beat it, I couldn't find all the damn locations of the thing.
There's a video for that too.
Yep. I was like, oh, what Screen was like, bro, your co-host has video. I'm like, oh yeah, let me go.
Yeah, he was there when I recorded it.
Yeah, he was like, that's what he said. He was like, we was there, and I was like, all right. I know I'm missing just one, and I had to backtrack. And I was like, okay, this was the one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I want to shout out one actual underrated thing. I know we're trashing exotics right now. You know what exotic? That stupid Warlock boat-looking helmet. The one that looks like a damn
hive ship, yeah.
Yo, for endgame?
For ammo?
Bro, I'm Divinity bitch. I ain't gonna front. Bro, because what I do is Divinity.
It refills your trace rifles. Yeah, that's right.
Refills the trace, targets for you guys.
And
you guys
make ammo.
They get heavy. I get heavy. Bro, it's like Aeon on Cenotaph is lit for Endgame. I am now. I don't fight it. I am well in Divinity, bitch. I have no problem.
You want to know that nice thing about that role? You don't have to think about too much. You don't have to watch like mechanics too much. You just like make sure it's on the bus.
Bro, great weapon for endgame. Especially think about when we're doing Taken King and sometimes what was it when you right before you do the War Priest and the witches come out and like the ammo economy is always terrible during
that's
that.
awful. Yeah.
War Priest. Like, always those times when Destiny tries to cheat you. That is the anti-cheat right there. I love it. So yeah, that's my new support.
Yeah. See, that still goes into mind. Like, stop making exotics that help the ammo economy. Fix the source of the problem, the actual ammo economy. Because they're like when I'm running around with a sword doing Ektar, that's not as big of a deal. But when like if I'm short on ammo and I'm working on the final boss and Ghost of the Deep. And there's too many solo dungeon runs where I'm like, I gotta hunt for ammo and kill 1,000 guys. The worst, I think, was the top of Spire. Because there's not that many ads.
Yeah.
And dude, I was just farming those guys in circles just to get ammo, just to start a damage phase. I'm like, it's the ammo. Like, yeah. When I'm like, if I want an ammo synth, you messed up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, it's like, there are multiple now. You got an Aeons, which seems to be a requirement. Then people are going to be like, now you're going to have Warlocks with Wells and Divinity and Cenotaph. Like, Warlocks are just going to be this person in future raids for a while. I'm like, how about you take the ammo drop? But that's the other thing that I scream about is like, you've got ammo finder like Scout. For like the Scout one for other people. You've got reserves. You've got scavengers. I'm like, this is not build crafting. This is why you should play other games, everybody. Just a heads up. This is why you play other games. Build crafting is designing, maybe I want my weapons to be a little faster, or maybe I want my abilities to do different things. It is not ammo economy. That is not build crafting.
Diablo exposed that big time, yeah. Because you can see the difference. Like it's build crafting is destiny is to compensate for issues in the game.
So much. No, 100%.
Yes.
You build craft to get around what is broken. Now I know we're being a little reductive. We're being a little hard, but the fact that you have 3 different slots that can mess with ammo, shouldn't do that. Like if you want reserves, just tell me what you think the gun should have in reserves and put it there. Right. Then you get rid of that slot and I don't ever have to worry about switching anything. Oh, let me put on a chest piece that has triple reserves when I hit the rally flag and then switch armor before I start the fight. That should never be a thing.
Oh, why we
scavengers? If I pick up an ammo brick, tell me if it's 1 or 2 or whatever.
Just be the most.
Be whatever it's supposed to be. And then like ammo finders, I'm like, fix the drop rate. Like so no, I will. I'm gonna be like Destin, whatever he was fixated on Fireteam Chat for a while. I'm like, the ammo economy is the source of the problem when you're making exotics that cause like.
Right. And then think about this: we've been screaming this kind of stuff since the beginning of D2 with Flashpoint days. Because
this is probably since Curse of Osiris, but yeah.
Yes, because remember, I used to get frustrated when. What is the Warlock helmet that speeds up the recharge rates of your abilities? Remember when the recharge rates were terrible? What is it? Eyes of Tomorrow? What is it?
Eyes of Another World.
I have another world. And then
I've got the chainmail one that does the same thing for Void. Yeah. And they're just like this, and it's like the tiny, like you barely even know you're wearing the thing. Like technically it's there, but and that's like some of the ones where I don't know. I know they're afraid of like breaking the PvP stuff sometimes. Just like something like that, you'll be like, hey, it speeds up the recharge rate in, outside of Crucible and Gambit. Just take those 2 out of the equation, and then let me put on my little chainmail thing, and hey, you get 25% faster charge rate. Well, like, then you're just going to be throwing grenades the whole time in the game. I'm like, I could probably do that with one of your artifact mods right now. Why are you worried about an exotic?
Sins of the father.
I know I'm not a game developer. I know balancing Destiny is a hard equation to do, but I'm just saying you could hire us and we can
armchair develop the hell out of this.
No, we can. No, like 100%. No, I would the whole like contract testers and stuff like that.
I consult. You need to consult.
Consult, whatever. No, but it's like the play testing part of it, I would love to just like, okay, I would love to see all the dials just for ammo. I want to know what is the ammo equation. And they're just like, can I just bump a few of those up a little
Well,
bit?
clearly
See what happens.
they've done it with primary exotics now.
Okay, now I've heard run double specials right now. That shouldn't be required. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but the fact that it takes running double specials to fix the ammo economy, that's again, we are not at the source of the problem.
Yeah, that is true.
That's the key. You're putting a band-aid over a bullet hole. That's the difference.
Yeah, such is the life of the looter shooter.
Yeah. Again, whole easy to armchair develop. Sorry, any Bungie devs. If you guys listen, I get it. You could probably sit down and be like, do you see the maze of code that I'm working with? It's not that easy. I'd be like, okay.
You're definitely in all you got to do energy is.
Oh, I know, 100%. All you got to do. Yeah, 100%. I get that. 100%. Yep. You'd be like, well, turn that podcast off. But it is also like, and that's one of those things that I would ask is like, okay, the source of my issue is, why is ammo? And they're like, well, it's a shooter. I'm like, okay. But if you're solo, if you're in groups, if you're making exotic, like, there is something wrong, in my opinion, when like you're trying to get around it in other ways. And that would be more why it's like, you got to dig deeper to the source. It's, just
absolutely. No, you're preaching. And like I said, hopefully,
I mean, apparently double specials is actually a fun thing to do right now.
Double specials, but I've been doing it. I do trace and I'll do like, refusion at the
I see a lot of traces in those.
Yeah, traces, but that's my primary like that. And I still got like a Volt Shot, arc trace that's serious. It actually competes a little bit. It's never going to be better than Cold Heart because of single DPS.
Yeah.
But the Volt Shot aspect of it is really sick. So I've been rocking that, and so that's I've been compensating until we get a thing together.
Yeah, I mean, you could run a fusion, a machine gun, and Cold Heart, and still have fun. Like, you mess around with some fun stuff.
And shout out to Aquarius. I'm having a ton of fun with Aquarius. Aquarius is a beast.
Yeah. So, anything else for Destiny in these last 5 minutes?
That's it. Just obviously, I want to shout out.
Oh, there was one thing in the TWAB. Sorry.
Yeah, we didn't touch on.
New developer insights incoming. So there's probably going to be a Wednesday twid.
Yes.
Eventually, I'll get used to saying that. It sounds like I'm still sounds like I'm cursing somebody out or something. I don't know.
Damn twid.
The same way we previewed the changes coming to weapons in the mid-season update, we have plans for another developer insight before the month ends. This time, the economy team will cover some updates to masterworking currencies.
Economy team.
Yep.
There you go.
And to currencies and weapons coming to Destiny 2 ritual activities. I am very curious to know if they talk about like enhancement cores and currency caps or I wonder how deep they're going to go into that. I don't know. Don't ask too much, but yeah. So it does seem like we're going to get a Wednesday twid. That'll probably be big, and then the 12 will probably be very small.
Right.
So, Solstice will continue, and then the twid will be on Wednesday. So Wednesday's the day for news, and then we'll talk about it on Thursday. Next week we have patty cakes. I wanted to ask you, are you excited for any of the movies coming up? Either what's already out right now or what is coming out literally tonight?
Get me up.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, Oppenheimer, and Barbie.
Oppenheimer should Barbie. I think I will pass, but
Barbie got a 9 on IGN. Actually,
people are going crazy about it.
I probably will end up seeing that too, because But are you interested in Oppenheimer?
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Do you have any IMAXs near you? Do you have any like the cool?
Yeah,
I thought you would East Coast. Yeah, I was gonna say I have one by me. I have one by me that's running 70mm.
Ooh,
so I get that's. I'm lucky. IMAX. There's one IMAX by me that like will switch projectors for like the Nolan films. It's
we so bougie in New York, New Jersey. We got the Smithers button with it. When you press the button and we come out with the food.
Oh yeah, I mean that's.
Yes.
Usually, okay. I will say though, the theaters that serve you food are typically not the really good projectors though. Do you get the both up there? Oh, see, the theaters that serve you food around here. Are not the high quality screens.
Correct. The majority.
If you get the combo, you're lucky. Yeah. It's like you and Los Angeles probably get those. Yes. Like New York and LA, everybody in the middle, good luck.
You go pay, but it's worth it. Oh man, I can't do nothing less. But yeah, I'll probably do that. And yeah, those are probably for the movie standpoint. But I was just gonna say, did Graviton Lance buff happened already this
Graviton
week?
Lance buff is out there, and
Yeah, I
multiple
want to try that
videos
out.
have been made. People are fans of Graviton now, so
Okay.
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's 67%, so the pulse rifle hits. The cosmology will definitely do some work. I don't know if it's going to be like your in-game, but you want to blow stuff up in anything mid-range, you're going to blow stuff up in mid-range all day long. Like, and if there's like a void surge or something on like a strike, oh yeah, pull that sucker out. If pulse rifles are in the mix, like on an artifact, like right now we don't even have pulse rifles on the artifact, do we? It's auto rifles, scouts.
Yeah, it's auto.
Yeah, like next season, I feel like we got to get bows back. We got to get pulses back. Like next season will be usually better for me on that one. Yeah, holds its own in GMs. It's very good. Yeah, I've heard good things.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Cool. I gotta get in there and touch a little Solstice and mess around.
Have you watched the other Mission Impossibles? Are you a Mission Impossible guy?
I'm not hardcore. I'm very casual. Mission Impossible.
Okay,
but I'm not like, oh my god.
I just this is part 1 of part 2. Did you watch Fallout, the one with Henry Cavill?
I did not.
Really? That's like
that
crazy pinnacle of action.
Peak level.
Yeah, that one's good. Did you watch the one with him on the side of the airplane?
Yes.
You watch the one with him on the Burj Khalifa?
Yes.
Okay, then you're missing just one.
Just one. Yeah, I just didn't see that one.
Yeah, you should watch Fallout, and then Dead Reckoning's good. I enjoy it. You'll definitely see 1 or 2 video game references in there. There's crazy. Yeah, there's a couple crazy stunts in there that it's a fun one. Like you want to go have a good time at a movie, it's good times. I work. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Oppenheimer, but I'm watching like interviews about it just to kind of like get some of the history, kind of get my understanding, get a feel. The cast in it is like holy crap. But no, I've heard like when you get done with Oppenheimer, they're like I just have to go home now. Just like it's a Nolan. Like when I got done with Interstellar the first time, I was like,
yeah, you're like blown away, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, Nolan films are good.
Tomorrow, IMAX,
Nice.
no doubt. So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Fisher Chips. He said it. He said, what you call? Also said Oppenheimer's average. Interesting. Fisher Chips said, Graviton is like void, osteo, striga, necrotic grip in one pulse. That good? It's just.
Yeah, who is saying average? Who? I haven't heard average. I have heard very high marks for Oppenheimer. So
yeah,
I would probably give it the same ranking as I would Remnant 2. Let's just say that.
All right, there we go. There we go. High praise.
If you're looking for a break, go play Remnant. If you have Xbox or a lot of platforms now, I think have the Sea of Stars demo. Go check that out so you understand my Chrono Trigger love. Go play Midnight Suns to continue to make this guy some money because he's got his back-end deal with Firaxis. Yep, there.
Unofficial community manager.
Exactly, yeah. And other
than
than that,
I'm looking for it.
Yeah. But I think that's a reasonable place. It sounds like, we get an interesting article next week on the economy. Patty Cakes will be here last episode before GCX, so we have a week off on April or August 3rd. I will be there. Yes. I will not have lost as much weight as I would have liked, but I'm going to be there and just.
I'm going to be smaller than you. I've lost weight.
Yeah, I was like, you will be smaller than me because I am definitely not. So
he's like, I'm coming in. Okay.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Let's chunky this year. Yep. You know. So good. Good. Be good to see you. It's
worse because my wife and my birthdays are in the same month. So then it's
it's over. It's over.
That's what sucks. Like, if you're gonna do a birthday meal, then you get each other cake. Like, she gets a cake and then I get cookies or whatever. It's like there's more crap that happens. And then this month, my wife has been rehearsing because she's doing a musical theater performance. But she's got like weird hours and stuff like that. So she'll get home at like 12:30, and she's like, I gotta have some food. I'm like, I'm starving. Yeah. So then it's like we go get Whataburger at like 12:30 at night, and I'm just like, not my best month. I'm gonna be honest. So I apologize in advance. I will be thinner next year.
I apologize for my performance.
I do. I apologize. It sucks. I should be better. It's called willpower. It's all on me. I just got to eat better. I was like, I've been working out more, been doing a lot of rowing, so the cardio and the weightlifting are there, but there's just food has been there with it.
In conjunction.
Yeah, we will. Hey, we will indulge on the Leviathan, and we will live the life of opulence. Giant margaritas the size of my head. Yeah.
We got to get our margaritas. We need our callus size. Yeah. We're gonna do our raid call out.
We'll do that Thursday, and then I'm actually I think I'm sharing my room with Mano, actually. So
Battlefield. Oh, that's
yeah,
what's up.
Mano's coming. He's
Nice.
taller than me, actually. He's got me by a
Mano's
couple.
tall.
Yeah, so
Oh, wait, have I
I haven't met
Mano in
him.
real life? I don't think I've met
I've
him.
just known him off and on for forever.
Oh,
So
he's like our unofficial
yeah,
extra last word,
yeah.
co-host in a way. He's held us
Oh
down
no,
a
he's
lot.
been here. He's been here quite a few times recently,
Yeah,
and
sure.
just over the
That's
years.
really
So
dope. Back for that, I know it's gonna be there. Ty's gonna be there. We may record something. We may
yeah,
figuring out.
I make no promises. The lost episode 200, that's on me because I couldn't edit it. So we'll take that one.
He being generous. It's literally me that blew it. And D Flawless will never let me hear the end of that. Because it was D Flawless on an episode.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I learned some horrible things about recording. So hopefully Sarko, if he's listening, hopefully he's there. It'll be cool to see him again. And we gotta hit up Seth, because Seth is, he got a baby now.
He might. I think he's coming. I think Seth is coming. I think he's coming. I'm talking to him.
Back for that will be there. Ty will be there. So it'll be good to see some. I heard Bungie will have a presence.
It might be a very small presence. I know they got the ramen booth, but I think the Bungie interview might be very, very minimal, especially with things going on. I wouldn't expect a lot.
What content creators we know for sure confirmed? Gathalion. I saw who else?
Oh, tons of them. I mean, Fallout. I know is going this year.
Oh, Fallout's coming.
He's coming back. Last year, like a lot of them didn't go. I don't know if Cool Guy's coming, but I know Fallout's coming. It's probable Cool Guy's coming. Last year was like the post-COVID first time. Everybody wasn't sure about going. Like, this is the time where everybody's like, all right, I think I'm probably going to go. So it's like this year, probably next year. Well, you'll see a lot of people, if not this year.
I got to drag you to the party. I got to somehow get you to this party.
Gonna drag me to a party?
Yeah, isn't it the party thing going down? Was it? Ain't you gonna make your grand entrance?
What are you
talking about? The GCX party, sir. Are you going to be turning up? Or are you going to be coming through? Yes.
The after like the Sunday night.
After.
No, I fly home.
No. Wait,
I'm not going to the Universal after party.
Damn, we don't get it.
You want to know why?
Why, sir?
It took them forever to sell that as a separate ticket.
Oh yeah, it did.
It was going to be a $200 thing, and I'm like, I'm not going to go the next day because I would only do that with my wife there, and she's not coming this time. So I couldn't buy it separate, and I was like, I'm not going to spend $200 just for the evening. So my flight is at 9:55 Saturday night.
Yeah, it's too late. You leave Saturday night.
I mean, it's late, like, so after the show, hang out, have a bite or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, if you get done with like GCX, then you jump off to the after party, then but
yeah, no doubt. All right, so
that was why. Like, if they would have told me before, then yeah, I probably would have gone to hang out. But I'm not gonna go redo flights and everything. I got a good enough deal on it, so
hold it down. Yep, no doubt. Jump in, good show, guys. Salute.
GCX, the Gaming Community Expo, I think is what it's technically called now. Yeah, it was Destiny Con or Guardian Con. It's been through a lot of names, but it's the Florida Gaming Convention that has a lot of Destiny creators that show up.
Orlando. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it used to be in Tampa.
Yes, in hot Tampa and the Tampa Bay Fair.
Orlando's not cold.
Bro, we used to stand outside on that line.
I know.
In the heat. It wasn't as big as the Leviathan.
Yeah, so check in on Thursday. Check in on Thursday.
Yeah, definitely.
This time, yeah, because
I'm in on Thursday.
You're gonna walk across the street to that burger joint so we can have.
Yeah, we got to go to the burger spot.
That was pretty good.
I got to go to the Mexican spot. We got to get the joint, and then
we got to do the margaritas.
Got to do the margaritas. That's tradition. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be fun, and I want to see what like stuff people wear. People really get creative.
Oh yeah, there's some pretty good cosplay usually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one I think will be a bigger turnout for sure.
Yes, and I gotta have discipline. I cannot buy everything Osiris and everything I am banner. I need to have discipline. It's bad. Like people know me.
I have so much stuff that I've not hung up. It's stupid. Like yeah.
So I gotta show some discipline. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Been a fun show. Been a good chat. Old Flashpoint style here. We know Travis is working hard or hardly working. We're not sure, but we'll figure it out later. Remnant Early Access launches tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you buy the normal version, it's on the 25th or the 24th, depending on if it's 3 days later. So, Remnant will be fun if you need a break. Other than that, Solstice it up if you want to. And seems like we got some interesting news next week. All right. Anything you got anything coming up besides all your crazy ILP? You guys have been going absolutely bonkers.
It's been crazy, man. Salute to Dustin Legary made his appearance. It was the very last moment. We didn't know it was going to happen, but he came through and he killed it. He absolutely killed it. Shout out to Destin, long overdue. I can stop being mad at you now. You finally made, it was a man of your word, and I got all of podcasts on ILP finally. So salute to him.
Nice.
That was fun. He had a lot of cool things to
Because
say.
I know you had Ryan and you had Miranda.
Yep, and I had Brandon Tyrell when he was there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we had now I can say I've had the entire.
Well, now you
podcast.
need to get what? Stella?
No, I've had Khalif. And now I just need Stella.
Yeah, you need Stella is the one I was going to say. I knew Khalif. I thought you had. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. But salute to that. Salute to Defining Duke. We had a great crossover episode with Colin talking about the ABK. Oh, it's good. It's good. You want that one?
I mean, I joked with you before because like I listened to both,
and we're so polar opposite.
And you guys are
completely polar opposite.
Yeah, there's a large space between your opinions on that one. So,
but I felt it was both sides at least listened to the other side, and we both had our strong arguments.
You guys are very good at that.
Yeah,
when you guys come together, like the professional, like it's a conversation. You're not talking over each other. It's the back and forth. It is a true discussion when you guys do those crossovers. They're usually really, I don't want to say moderated because nobody has to is the best way I can say it because you don't need to. They are good conversations, I think, on both sides. Those are good.
I appreciate it, man. I really enjoyed them as well. It's that constellation. So that we got to do Defining Duke up right now. That is a fun episode. Me and Maddie had a lot of fun with that episode.
You and Hogue, yeah.
Oh, Hogue was great last week, and then this week, and then obviously check out ILP this Sunday. Look at 3 Geeks with the gifting. All right, look at the gifting.
Yeah, shout out 3 Geeks with the 5 gifted memberships on YouTube. It's weird to say like gifted memberships on YouTube. It's like a Twitch thing, but I'm glad they actually YouTube's like slowly even the Kick is trying to do its whole other thing right now. But yeah, it's like. Well, thank you very much, 3 Geeks. Lots of love. Making up for you being late. Hey, man, you can go watch the show. Just scroll that little time bar back. But thank you for the love. Always appreciated.
And this week, last thing will be check out ILP this Sunday. Hey, we will have Young Ye.
The voice actor now getting a whole lot of
Kiryu. Yes, Yakuza. So go check him out. We should be still locked in. I'll just double check.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that I'm a huge fan of his. I got a chance to meet him, and yeah, man, it's coming through the realm, so it should be fun. And I want to talk to him about all that stuff. And now, voice acting and all the stuff he's doing as a content creator. So check us out on the Lord's Day Sunday, 1 p.m.
He probably got a lot of crap early on.
Yeah,
he did.
He addressed it though.
Yeah, so we'll be. Yep, should be fun.
Should be fun.
Yeah, so please go follow ILP. Lots of amazing things they're doing over there. Gotta love seeing ILP blow up. It's always cool.
Thank you, bro. Well, the conversations me and you would have behind the scenes, and you used to see how my frustrations back in the
Oh yeah, no, I mean you guys have been holding it out for. I mean, we both started our channels were pretty close. I think you guys were a little ahead of me on the podcast stuff, but no, I mean our channels were kind of close, and
you with the 100K.
That's a stupid amount of videos, but but also just what you guys have been. You guys are exactly who you are without changing, and just more and more people love you, which is great. Yeah, that's
and likewise. You've been authentic from day one. I love to see you shine. It's mind blowing to see how big you've grown.
I don't know if everybody loved seeing King shine this past week that much.
He definitely was shining.
He was on a scale of 1 to how messy was he? Because I haven't listened to all of it. I've got pieces here and there where I've been trying to catch it.
He was about an 8. He wasn't as messy. He could have been way more messy. I thought it would be, but the choice of messiness was really tactful.
He was very intentional. He was sniper shots were taken. Direct sniper shots. Okay. How many knees did you guys collect?
All right, a lot. And then the new knees bets have gone on now about acquisition next and who. Oh yeah, it's all crazy.
PlayStation's gonna buy Square, Xbox is gonna buy Sega. Everybody all together is gonna combine and make the collective force and buy Take-Two.
Bro, to be honest, it was Destin who broke us all. He had he's convinced Xbox is gonna buy Take-Two next. We were like,
dude,
he is convinced.
I don't know how though, because they just sit there and they wipe their rear end with $100 bills. They make It's GTA 5 is 10 years old. It's been in the NPD for 10 years. And you know 6 is going to do the same thing. They have so much money. Like, the budget for GTA 6 has got to be $1 billion. Like, that has to be.
I'm with you. I thought it was crazy talk until I have to admit, Destin's argument on ILP actually made me at least consider, you know what, there may be some truth the way he broke it down. Listen to what the man said. That's all I was. I highly advise you. He's in the first hour. He stayed like the first hour of ILP.
Does somebody own, is Take-Two like the top of their, nobody owns Take-Two right now? Are they the top of their own food chain?
At the top of the own food. They own 2K and Rockstar and all that stuff underneath. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, he's on it.
I know Call of Duty is massive, and I know King is big. Like, King's another piece with the mobile game, which is a large piece of why Microsoft was doing that. And I know King also prints money. But I'm like, Grand Theft Auto also prints a lot of money, surprisingly. So I'm like, I mean, it might not be 70 billion, but that'd be 20, 25, 30. That would be a chunky acquisition.
Oh, yeah. And it would be the same way in the sense that there's no way they can't. Grand Theft would have to stay multiplayer. It's just too big a game.
Yeah, I mean, there's... I mean, if Nintendo ever gets something that could run it, like if you get a PS4 equivalent Switch or something like that, if that happens, then you could actually put, Grand Theft Auto in there as well, which is a whole different animal. So it's like, then you got a whole different pie.
But Bobby, that's what they're doing.
Hey, told you, Tears of the Kingdom, gonna look nice and pretty.
You held out great. So
I am going to be looking great next year when there's a Switch Pro Elite 2, whatever the hell they're going to name. What do you think they're going to name that damn thing?
That's a good thing. They better not mess with the form factor. They've got the winning formula. They better not. Yeah,
but better stay that. It's just Switch 2.
Yeah, I mean, I've never.
And now, back compat? Nintendo is horrible at back compat. They're going to make you buy it.
I don't know about that.
You're not going to be able to take that Switch cartridge and go, chick.
Nintendo going to make you buy again. That's what
you're like, we now have a triangular slot, so the previous ones do not fit in there. No, instead of being this way, the card is literally like, it's just like a trapezoid, so you couldn't put it in there.
They will make you pay again. Yeah, there's no question. No question.
I'll just wait for that Tears of the Kingdom re-release on high def, Tears of the Kingdom HD. Actually, no, it's going to be Tears of the Kingdom full D. It's just going to be like 1080p.
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 Yeah.
Damn Nintendo.
All right. You guys have been amazing. Please follow ILP. Amazing shows on Sunday. Defining Duke. Little old me here. Just Ebontis doing my thing.
Doing reviews and all that.
Hey. And I enjoyed this last. It's nice when you get to review a good game. I haven't paid the penance like Travis yet. I haven't reviewed a 2.
You ain't got a Nerf Legends.
I haven't got a. His last one was like Tempest or whatever. His other recent 2 was also awful, and it was 40 hours long. So, yeah. Thank you guys very much. Have a good one for episode number 258. Sorry, Travis, but it's over. It has been the last word.
Last word.